Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the Highland Curling Club in Regina and our continuing coverage of the Vaderstad Saskatchewan Super Series, brought to you by Calidon Leasing. Warren Woods along with Lyle Myers, and no, it is not Groundhog Day.
Well, it feels a bit like it, Warren, but yeah.
We are back. For those who are not aware, Lyle and I had the pleasure of doing many a tanker telecast on Global back in the day. It's been a while since we've been back together again, so it's wonderful to have this opportunity, and great to see you again, my friend.
It certainly is, and back in a curling rink like we've always been, Warren, and really looking forward to a good game today and the pleasure of calling with you again.
Well, we're definitely older. I'm not sure how much wiser we are, but nevertheless, we will certainly give it a go.
Warren, I have to say that I'm not sure if people that watched us back when thought we were real wise back then either, to be honest.
True enough. Well, this is interesting. Of course, this is in the day of COVID, in the age of COVID. Travel is not allowed. Curling has had to adapt like every other sport, and curling has had to be innovative. And this Saskatchewan Super Series is one of those ways to do that. It brings together the top teams in Saskatchewan to play within Saskatchewan, since travel is not allowed, and gives the opportunity for these players to get some good competition early.
They have to get going. It's we're starting to head into the Olympic year now, and the Olympic trial year, and it's time for the guys to get going. We feel a little, I think the players feel trapped a little bit by this virus as well, and so this is an opportunity for us to play locally and against great competition. These are some of the top teams in Saskatchewan here in a controlled environment. They're testing it, and I think that's a great way to approach it and move forward.
Well, our game this afternoon is one we've been looking forward to because, well, let's face it, it's a grudge match. And it's going to happen when there has been turnover, and it's not going to take long for teams to play against former teammates. And we're going to see that today as Matt Dunstone, the provincial champion, who made a change at second, bringing in your boy Kirk Myers and letting Caitlin Schneider go. Caitlin Schneider goes over to Colton Flasch, and wouldn't you know it, right off the bat, these two teams are going to go at it. I think there'll be a little... shall we say a little edginess maybe to start with?
I think so. And I think the players, as a rule, always put on that bright face. It's all good. We're all happy. It doesn't make any difference, but it does matter when you hit the ice. It's great when you're up here having a beer together, but down there, they're going to compete hard, and they're going to try to show each other that these moves were in everybody's best interest.
And you want to start off playing well as well. And here we have two teams that are 1-1 going into this match this afternoon. So they really need a victory because top three will make the playoffs and a chance to make a little bit of coin. So this is big.
It is. You start to drop to two losses, and all of a sudden the draw to the button comes into play, and then all of a sudden you don't get into the playoffs. So it's a vital game. It's one we kind of laugh at. We kind of looking forward. I've heard that a few people say this is the provincial final. Well, you know what? The provincial finalists are 1-1 in a very good field. So that just tells you that it's not a two-man show. It's going to be a 10-man show in this province this year.
Yeah, actually, Rylan Kleider, the junior champion in his first year of men's competition, is actually leading this competition with a 2-0 record as we check the draw to the button right here, and as these teams try to decide who is going to throw first. And as mentioned, these draws do have an impact on the tie-breaking situation.
You know what, Warren? I've worked lots with the competitive teams in Saskatchewan, and I've always talked about this at the Grand Slams, which just comes into play too. This is like another win. So if you got in a situation where you tie with them, your draw to the button will give you one more win, ultimately getting you into the playoffs or into first place. So this is as important as one win in the standings often.
The ice has been fantastic. Darren Gress is the ice maker here at the Highland, and well known for making the ice at various provincials and national competition, as we see this draw from Caitlin Schneider just going a little heavy. So And this ice has been known to be pretty quick over the years.
It is, and I think it was getting quicker. I watched the draw to the button for Team Dunstone. Kirk throw it through it and continued to throw lighter and lighter and lighter and cover just the back of the button. So they will have hammer going into here, but that may have trapped Catlin. As you throw, it gets quicker and quicker and quicker, but it is very good ice. It's going to be wonderful watching the guys make shots on here.
These two teams are trying to get things together for the remainder of the season, get started as we talked about. And for Matt Dunstone, A little bit of pressure on him. I know that this team was responsible for largely for putting this together, so he has that to deal with, and then the pressure of actually playing on the ice. And they came so close last year at the Brier, and he obviously wants to get into a groove here early.
I think so. It's interesting because, of course, with the family connection for me, so I get to listen in a little bit. It's the first year that I haven't coached Kirk, probably in 10, and so we do chat a little bit yet, and it was one of the things that they're dealing with as a group is that coming off that tremendous finish at the Brier last year and potentially just about winning it, that expectations are high. They have to deal with that and turn it back into performance again, because even if you play exactly at the same level as last year, you may not make the playoffs at the next Brier. You may not even get to the Brier. So there's areas that they just need to improve on to make that next step.
Now, as mentioned, Kirk Myers is the change at second. These guys know each other, though, very well, and Kirk has played with Braden Muscowie all those years in junior, so they know each other pretty well, but is there still a bit of an adjustment period for them?
I think so. It'll be different roles. It's one of those things too. Is they'll have to figure out as a group what things each person needs to make them better. So something that Kirk might say in the first event may make Braden worse instead of better. I know they've played together, but there's been a lot of time, and I think that's one of the things that all the players are going to try to work hard towards is to make that step to figuring out what each player needs, and that'll take a big part of the early part of the season.
All right, well, we are underway, and the Dunstone team has won the draw to the Buttons, so they will have last rock to get things going in this opening end, and to get us underway is the lead for Colton Flasch, Dan Marsh.
I have a little inside with most everybody, and this is interesting of the players that have been on the ice. I actually haven't coached or been involved with the team when with Braden or DJ. Sorry, DJ. Dustin, anyway. And
too many of them.
There is, and both were great players, but haven't been involved with them, or I haven't been involved with Catlin Schneider. But the other guys, last year I've coached Flash for quite a few years, which has been always interesting and fun. He's one of those guys that will always challenge a coach. If he doesn't think you're saying it right, he'll let you know. And we always had a lot of fun, and I have a lot of respect for him, and we enjoyed our time together. I shouldn't say I should ask Colton, but I always enjoyed my time with him.
All right, come around draw from Dustin Kidby goes a little bit deep behind the button, so game on here in this opening end. 5-rock rule, as you're probably aware, and that first guard was in a good spot that was thrown by Dan Marsh, very tight to the rings.
It really goes to show, I think both these teams are wanting to play this game quite aggressive, particularly if it's tight, to show that there's no fear, that yes, we respect you, but we fear you. Neither team will try to mark their territory here and come after each other. So I expect a lot of aggression through this game, because both teams want to win this game in a big way.
Hard! Go, 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 go!
And that draw from Dan Marsh stops just top of the button, so good shot. You notice, too, with the ice that they were giving for that particular shot, just outside the 8-foot, so there's plenty of curl to this sheet.
Yeah, that's what's going to make it fun. The players are all skilled. They're going to be pretty good. They're going to be close. But when the ice moves like that, it allows you to play any shot. Often the ice, when it's a little bit straight or isn't got great consistency to it, makes it difficult to play the aggressive shot. But when the players can count on the ice surface being good, it allows them to play the more difficult shots, take the chances, and that's why I think we'll see that style of game.
Pretty good.
And as you can see, the first 4 stones have been pretty interesting so far.
We're pretty close. Atta boy. Good sweeping, Braden.
Matty likes that one.
Yep.
Gets a little bit to the inside of that stone as well. So now you just got to figure out, if you're Matt Dunstone, how you're going to get a deuce out of this.
Well, I often find that, I said, when that 4 foot and that button area gets loaded up, it's sometimes hard to figure out who's winning and who's losing in there. And it's the first team that gets a sense that this isn't what I want to have happen in the first end. We'll blow it up, but it'll be interesting. Now, Matt has that option right now to make a decision on which way he wants to go, more aggression or whether he wants to open up that button area.
Okay, well then. No, don't bump. No bump if you can. Cat, yep.
A good shot from Kevin Marsh right there, and the Marsh boys no strangers to high pressure competition. Of course, I've been to the Brier, and they can play.
They're good players. There's no question about that. They've always been. They've been competitive for a long time, and very good guys too. Enjoyed working with them in the last few years that we were together. Very good young men and very respectful. Great guys to coach, that's for sure.
Sorry, bud. Knew it. Like, should have known it. Didn't. Right? We saw it yesterday. 2/3.
Sounds like the ice has not changed that much from what they saw last night.
No, I think it looks similar from anything that I've seen too, Warren. It's really good surface, and as the guys play a little bit more, I realize it's the first event of the year. There'll be some mistakes made through the course of the day today, but
Mine's good.
Good ice and consistent ice. They'll get better as this weekend goes on.
Oh, got to curl a bit. Yep.
Line's pretty good for this guard.
Hard. Good.
Very nice. Well, I must admit, last night I was here watching the Dunstone team play Cody Hartung. Looked very sharp to get things going, but then ran into a buzzsaw, I guess, last night from Ryland Kleider, and all of a sudden they're 1-1. So a bit of a wake-up call for this team.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Ryland Kleider team's a great young team, and they've been on the ice quite a bit this year, and are ready to make something happen. So I talked to Kirk after the game, and he just mentioned to him, he said, we played pretty darn good. And he said, we got beat. He said, we got beat on every place on the ice, and he said they were very impressive.
That one was going to be good.
That's what happens, right? Sometimes you just get out-curled, and you can't be too upset about that. If you curl well and you get beat by a better team or a better team that day, then what do? Tip your cap and move on.
Yep, and I think that's a good point, Warren. I think what I see is, and I think all these teams will have different
same spot's pretty good.
things that they're working on week over week, and I think they'll have a long, drawn-out. This event might be something where Dunstone is looking to build some communication, as would be Flasch with a new team, is to try to figure this out as a group. So I think each will have different things that they'll work on, and it may not be the way they play the game or approach every event going forward.
Line's good.
First stone for third man, Catlin Schneider.
Far as you can get it. Go,
trying
curl.
to replace that guard.
Go, curl.
Little high?
A little bit high. It probably, if he had another 5-6 feet of weight, he'd have perfect coverage on it.
Well, no doubt, I think Catlin Schneider was disappointed at being dropped by Dunstone's team last year, and it took him a while, I think, to recover. Now he's got a chance to start anew with a different team, and you can tell though that he's still pretty pumped up for this one.
Good curler, good athlete, good guy. It's just one of those things. I think everybody, whenever they make changes on teams or try to do something a little bit different, it's just about trying to be a little bit better. And whether this change for Dunstone actually makes them better, will take some time to determine. And so I don't think there's a whole bunch going on there in terms of hard feelings or anything like that. But certainly Catlin wants to prove that he's a good one.
Braden Moskowy in his third stone, a little tap back. I'm not sure he got the result he quite wanted.
I think he wanted to curl a little bit more, but I don't think they're in terrible shape there.
Just so normal.
It's interesting, Warren, and I think talking about Catlin with the move now from second to third too. The last time he played in the time before last year, he played in the Brier. He played with Adam Casey and was an all-star third in a Brier. Now that speaks to maybe that is his ideal position as well. So there you can go on and on. You just sometimes it's just your week too. So.
Whoa! Yeah!
Looks like Schneider's going to try and pick that blue stone out of there. He's got the rocks moving, but he's left 2 yellow stones top of the forefoot.
I think, in all fairness, again, we talk about learning positions. I think Colton missed the call there a little bit, needed to have a little more sweep on it. And, again, he's going to have to learn to skip again, and he's also going to have to learn each of the guys' throws, particularly Catlin, which is new to him.
He has been a skip before.
I don't mind playing that. Can you just shoot that yellow open if you roll it? Or is that pretty hard? I like that. I see hard. I'm with you. Exactly. If we need to. Exactly. 3/4? Yeah. Let's go, Ray. Just poke that out.
Going for the double.
Yep. Real hard. Real hard.
No, just misses it. Does get 1 though. But the Flasch rink still lying 1. Partially buried top of the 4.
That one just got a little inside on it. It would have been one where it had been a little better if he was able to hit it on the nose. But you're going to make the shot, you throw it, and you go to make it, and it just curled up a little bit on him.
Control.
As mentioned, Colton Flasch has skipped before in this province and played a couple of years with Kevin Cooey, winning the Brier in 2019, but they did not have a very good run last year, and Flasch himself was dropped by the Cooey team, so back he comes to Saskatchewan to skip again.
Yep! Clean!
I would think Colton comes back with even tougher than ever. I think it's like one of those things, again, you come back and you want to prove yourself even more, and we say that they didn't have a great year by a lot of standards. It wasn't a bad year either, but by Kevin Cooey standards, it wasn't what they needed to be. And listening to Ben Hebert, it was just a case where that isn't good enough. He isn't here anymore to play and be an average curler, a guy that wants to win a little bit. He wants to win all the time. He said he's hit that age where it's time for him to make sure that they're putting their best foot forward. And the move to get Johnny Moe back. Let's be honest, who wouldn't make that move? And that could be one powerful team. Going in, my first thought is probably as good a team as we have in this country. And now it'll be a matter of, is it the right fit? Is everybody in the right seat of the bus? And that will play out just as these teams are trying to figure out, are they as good as they can be as a group?
First stone for skip Matt Dunstone here in this first end with last rock.
Key line. That's good. Back four's the spot. Key line right now. Really good line.
Matt's trying to wrap this one around the one top 4. There really is no place to go to get 2 other than that. He's got to probably at best hook it half around and hope Colton isn't able to get at it.
Good throw.
That might have got right underneath there, Warren, if he slips by and just...
I was kind of baiting you and just calling off. Drawing, probably. So. Yeah, I don't think we need to get tight and try.
Another look at this as he tries to draw around that top stone. Tough draw and just
forward.
Chips off it and rolls open into the back of the button.
Yeah, they're pretty straight. Just be patient with it.
It was a bit of a catch-22. You could hear Kirk calling that it was just max, so if it doesn't rub, they were worried about maintaining shot rock. They came off it a little bit and it curled up.
Kevin's way. I don't want to get cute. Just board weight. Just easy board and just roll it. Yeah, I mean, roll it 2 rocks and pretty darn good. Just get rid of it.
You can really see there that it's a case where it didn't. It just straightened it out. Really, it's just sitting open, but just open. So it's not a gimme for Colton either. So from his side, as long as he hits it, he's not real concerned. Great if he can roll underneath it, but he can't miss it.
Hard! Hard! Roll it! Roll it!
Good shot. That's what he wanted. As he mentioned, he didn't want to be too cute with it. Just make contact, get the roll. And now Dunstone is forced to hit against 3 here. Get a single.
I think he's probably going to throw that draw again.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure, Warren. We'll see. The ice could be for either. It could be a tap back or a draw. But just the fact that he threw draw last time makes me think that he wouldn't hit against 3.
No. Go, bud.
Well, either way, it's a pressure throw already.
It is. If you think of the last stone too, it got tight there and it was a little heavy. So he's the line is a factor here as well a little bit. And they don't want to change the ice, of course, because they want to throw on that same spot.
And you're right, it is a draw weight. Needs full 4.
Sure?
It's interesting, the conversation going down there, Kirk and Dustin talking. They'll have to work together throughout the course of the year, but now they're still, that was great, a great job where Kirk wasn't sure and Dustin was, and that's how they'll have to work together to make those type of shots.
Terrific throw by Matt Dunstone in this opening end to pick up his 1 and has the 1-0 lead with last rock now going to Colton Flasch for end number 2. This is the Vaderstad Saskatchewan Super Series presented by Calidon Leasing on the Curling Zone.
To be the most qualified grain storage and grain conditioning experts in Canada. Visit us today at coregrain.ca. Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm.
Welcome back to the Highland Curling Club in Regina for the Vaderstad Saskatchewan Super Series. Matt Dunstone, the defending provincial champion, up against Colton Flasch here. Both teams 1-1 going into this match. Warren Woods along with Lyle Myers. And a clutch draw by Matt Dunstone right off the bat. That has to get the adrenaline pumping just a little.
Well, I don't think anyone likes drawing against 3 at any point, and particularly in your first event of the season. But I think that shot is becoming one that skips so often. It's one that there's a level of comfort in, but I mean, if you miss it, totally different game from here on in. And the other thing that I think interesting about it is when you see it made as a team, both teams now suddenly go, we can do anything, right? We can take a tremendous amounts of risk with hammer. Our skip can cover the button. As sweepers, we have a pretty good gauge on what the weight is, and it allows the teams to be much more aggressive.
Yeah, it's not a shot I particularly want, but these guys are the pros.
Yeah, they are, and very comfortable with pressure shots.
One long guard out front, just off the center line. Flash team, Dan Marsh, quickly around it, and here now is Dustin Kidby trying to draw on top of that.
I think Dan's draw is exactly where you want that one, just full 8 foot, maybe biting the 4. It's exactly the spot you want. The rings aren't cut down, and once again, Dustin puts them right on the dot, exactly where you need them. And if you're going to do that as a lead, the rest of the guys' shots become a lot easier.
There is one other game going on here, and we'll keep you up to date on that, as Sean Meacham is up against Cody Hartung, and Meacham is 1-1, while Hartung is 0-2, so this is a must-win for him.
Yeah, Cody had a couple tough games. He lost one last night to Dunstone, and again, I believe, to Collider this morning in I think a very tight games, tight, well-curled game. So
right now, Hartung is leading that game with a deuce in the first end, so we'll keep you up to date on that.
Round robin, we talk about double knockout, triple knockout, all of those things. I think a triple knockout event is wonderful. Round robin is even better when you get into provincial rivalries like this. I think it's great. I don't think it's necessarily always the fairest outcome, but when all the teams are pretty even, everybody's got a scratch and claw for every win, every point, every draw to the button. And I think that's what we've got going here, particularly early in the season.
Get you an extra game, perhaps, to try and get into it, so to speak. And so we'll see what happens here. There's still lots of curling left. Top 3 teams, remember, will make the playoffs, and there will be no tiebreakers. So they will any ties will be determined by the draws to the button that take place just before these games start. Well, we're getting a buildup of stones here now, as one right on top of the other.
Pretty good throw, but maybe a little bit like this, but I think it's just kind of doing that, eh?
Yeah, like we did. I want to stay patient.
Yeah.
To make sure we have the line.
And it's probably a little tighter on the line like the deuce was, just from a strict line, right? Okay.
No, I like
You see Colton's decided this time to go outside to the corner with Kevin Stone.
Line's good.
I get that. You're trying to
Line's
keep
good.
the 4 foot open.
Line's good. Back 8. Back 4. Line's perfect.
And that'll go right back to Dan's first stone being on top 4
right here,
foot
right
to
to
keep
my
that this shot open.
Whoa, I
And
think you're here. I think you're here. Whoa, 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 whoa.
That's fine. Good shot.
Pretty much where he wanted it, maybe a tad deep. But
yeah, it needed to be second shot. It'll allow Matt to do a couple different things here, and then there you'll see it. If that's second shot, they're almost obligated to go out there and hit it and try to roll in. But this allows them to try a few different things.
yeah, I don't think it is second shot.
I'm not doing much now. The problem is over here we're bunching our blues. They've always got that kicker.
Meeting time. No time clocks, and we did notice they took a little time last night here, figuring out a lot of things. And again, this is the communication though that you're talking about in first games of the season.
Yeah, I think
teams working on the strategy.
Yeah, I think that's all a part of it. I realize that in events it's difficult. It's difficult enough to put these events on without running a time clock, but the time clock is a part of the game today. And really the players should almost take it upon themselves, I think, to play a little quicker in these type of events. I understand without it, you might as well take advantage of the fact that there's no clock there either and make sure you make good choices. But in the case of both of these teams, I think that it'll be about everybody having their say and figuring out what the right thing is to do going forward.
Another thing we noticed, and under the protocols set forth by Curling Canada, in most cases and in most spiels, and even whether it's recreation, you can only have one sweeper, and fans will probably notice that 2 sweepers are being employed with each shot here. There is a reason for that, though.
Well, yeah, for sure. And again, it's about the one thing that everybody's struggling with COVID is such a moving target, and the players and the people that are putting on this event, the Highland Curling Club, the sponsors of the teams, everyone wants everyone to be safe. So that's important. That's number one. But at some point, common sense has to come in, and because of this, they've had a good look at this, and it just makes sense. These 4 players drive together in a car coming here. They room together. They have lunch together. They are their own pod, right? And so the thought of them actually sweeping side by side makes total sense. It's great thinking, and I love the rationale behind it.
Boy, that's a pretty dandy draw from Kirk Myers right there as he gets behind all those stones, just barely gets by that stone at the top of the 4-foot, and right now the Dunstone team is lying 1, although it is behind the tee line.
Really speaks to the quality of the ice. When that rock on top, biting 4 is a guard, which it really is ultimately now, that is when curling's at its best.
Top 4. Line's good. We got room. Got lots of room. Lots of room.
Weight's pretty good.
Top 4.
Weight's pretty good.
Got lots of room still. Line's good. Line's good. Line's good. Yep.
Wow, look at that bend.
Yep.
Oh, that's real good.
That's a good shot.
Really good.
Team Flasch is sitting in a great spot. Love the positioning of those stones. Maddie's had enough of it, that's for sure.
Let's go, Braden. Dial it in, bud. Yep. Close, yep. Mark. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Pretty good.
Braden Muscowie with the run back and moves some rocks around. And right now, Dunstone lying the 1.
That was a long run.
Pretty good.
Control.
Beautiful shot,
Control.
Braden.
Control.
I mean, nose is okay.
Yeah, I agree. Control weight.
It's going to be pretty straight.
A couple different options there for sure. You could see if he made that double, they'd have 1 buried on the center line and shot rock back 8. I think that'd be a pretty good deuce situation. So, but I think they've decided to hit it on the nose and keep the pressure on Dunstone.
Close. Whoa. 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 Close.
I think now it's going to turn into that double.
No, he's jammed it. Didn't curl. Nope. We heard him in the hack say he thought it was going to run pretty straight there. But
if he makes a double, they're sitting great. I like that call a little bit better even than the nose hit there. Nope. Whoops. I'm no longer coaching.
Then we could follow him if he makes it, I guess. Yeah.
I think the guard is the right call. It's
I agree. I like the guard or the outturn draw. So, okay, where do we want to be? Yeah, we want to be halfway. Probably. I'd love to be halfway right here. Love to be able to kind of keep it going, really. Yeah.
I think that's a really good point. One of the challenges of throwing a guard on hard-moving ice is that you don't have them over curl. That is the challenge, and we'll see how Braden works on this.
2/3.
Looked nice and positive.
2/3.
Weight's good.
Yeah, we're getting pretty tight.
Weight's going to be good. We're 2/3.
Getting real close to the ring.
Get ready. We got to sweep this even if we get it tight. Yep, go Deuce, go Deuce. Go Deuce. Go Deuce, go Deuce, go Deuce, go Deuce, go. Go, 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 a little more.
You leave a hole there? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. But again, that can you've seen there. You can looking at making that double again and being back in great shape.
Like he's got to roll out to make a double, otherwise he jams on that yellow. Again, it's not bad. I'm not. Yeah. Yeah. Make a hit and roll. That's a good throw. I think it's a good spot for him.
There's a good conversation between Braden and
think
Kirk,
you
who
just make this double.
two really good buds,
Stick
right? I
straight,
mean,
otherwise
and
it's sit
they've
too.
curled together
Yeah,
for so
half
long. I
rock
mean, part of a Canadian Junior Championship
I think
team
half.
back in 2011 with Matt Lang.
I think you're sticking it. Half a rock.
And Colton Flasch.
And Colton was on
Yep,
that team
yep,
as well.
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were a powerful team that year. All four guys were all-stars and just had an incredible run. It's something they probably will remember all their lives. It's one of those opportunities when you got a good unit and you're all playing well at the right time, and they were something to watch.
So obviously some really good chemistry between Myers and Muskowie. Here's Catlin Schneider now. You going for the double?
I think he is.
Whoa! Whoa! Yep! Yep! Hard! Hard! Hard!
Got it.
Yes.
Did it stick in? Is it in?
Real good shot.
Flash team now lying 2.
The stick was a nice little bonus, but this probably sets him up well for a deuce. Keeps a little pressure on. Matty's got to stick it now versus if he rolls out, he could potentially give up 3. And if he makes it really good, he gets a roll underneath that center stuff, and again, maybe he'll be able to dodge a bullet here.
Nice weight. Easy.
Good shot. Good boy.
He's going to stick right there.
It's one of those shots too. If there's a time when you can really play a roll aggressively, and that was one that where you go, yeah, I want that roll, but I can't roll too far. If I roll out, I open up the door to a 3-ender. So
make the hit first.
Yep. And if you can get a little movement at the end and maybe get a little tuck under, great.
Yeah, rolling Kevin's way a little bit would be great.
And Colton's in the same position. You got to stick it to get your deuce.
Roll a little longer for him.
You roll out, it's a lot longer roll for Matt and increases the risk of playing a roll behind the center stuff. So.
Whoa. 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 Yep. 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 Whoa. Yep. Yep.
That's a great shot.
Beautiful roll, and it's still second shot. So the Flasch team in good shape right now.
Wow, that was a good shot. Could have rolled a couple inches more, but there's a lot of risk here for Matt to go after that one. And we haven't seen any hits from the inside out to the corner, so it'd be a guess to go out there.
Draw it there, I guess.
Yeah. He's going to draw. Playing the freeze. Wow.
Well, if he gets it there, it certainly shuts down the 2,
Like this, so.
but certainly opens up the door to 3 as well.
Sorry? I wish we were that one. Full speed. And where do we gotta be? Like on the top one, is the top one half in the 8-foot, the top yellow? It'll be irrelevant. Gotcha. Yep. Understood. Okay, Maddie, you're running nice here. Speed's gonna be full. I would take a hair more. What do you think?
That'll
And that's fine.
That'll be interesting whether that works long term. Whether Kirk, who has come off a skipping position, is starting to talk a little bit about ice. Whether there's a level of comfort with that for Maddie or not. On the other hand, they may have thrown some. Kirk maybe his job in practice was to throw to that corner too, so he may know something.
We gotta go. I think we gotta go.
Looks a little tight.
Yep, we gotta go. Come on.
Right out of his hand, Kirk was saying that he was just a little light.
Come on, Deuce.
I think it's over
good
curling.
one, bud.
Nope.
Go. Pretty nice.
Got it in a good spot. Ended up in a great spot, but he just looked like he just turned it over just a touch on release, and it curled early on him.
Good shot.
But it's just, nose is almost making it, so I do, yeah. I like that good board still. Yeah. Right there. Yeah.
You're gonna have to anticipate it a bit, like we're a little farther out.
Yeah. We stick it, but make sure we get our deuce. Same weight.
Playing for the deuce, but a 3
Yeah,
is
board
a
weight.
nice bonus, wouldn't it?
Three is definitely played. Doesn't have much room outside. You can see he's got to hit broom side a little bit, and then the blue stone on the top of the rings. It's as full in the rings yet, so there's not a lot of space here, but certainly makeable.
Final stone,
Yep.
second end from Colton Flasch.
Yes! Hard! Whoa! Yeah!
Left it close. Very nice. Drives it by, and is it enough for 3?
Good or no?
Looks like it.
Yep.
3 it is. Great shot from Colton Flasch
That was
as
a
he
beauty.
just squeaks that by the yellow stone there and counts a big 3. So nice shot and a good end for Colton Flasch, who takes a 3-1 lead through 2 ends of play. This is the Vaderstad Saskatchewan Super Series presented by Calidon Leasing.
Atlas Apex Roofing. The most knowledgeable, the most experienced, the most trusted name in the business. Atlas Apex, the top choice for industrial, commercial, and institutional roofing. Atlas Apex specializes in re-roofing, restoration, full-service maintenance, and emergency repairs. Customer service is our top priority, taking care of our clients in a safe, efficient, and timely manner from coast to coast.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG. Always delivering the best fan experience. Find us at ddgregina.com.
Welcome back to the Highland Curling Club in Regina. Warren Woods, Lyle Myers. Our coverage of the Vaderstad Saskatchewan Super Series presented by Calidon Leasing. And when you get to my age, the eyesight is the first to go because it was 2 and not 3 in that last.
Well, I wasn't much support here. The reason I thought it was 3 was because of the interaction between Catlin and Braden. Braden looked to Catlin. Catlin looked back to Braden. Braden nodded, which usually means you're conceding the point. So it was in a different conversation.
All right, you really got to go. Really got to go.
Nevertheless,
and we can't see. Yes. But yeah, it was. If you look at how much he missed the back one by, it was just by an inch or two. So that was one that yes, you can make, but if you make it, you'd have to feel very fortunate.
Well, the idea was to get his deuce, and that's exactly what he got. So that's what was most important. And so now he has the 2-1 lead, and all set up by a great shot, a great double by Catlin Schneider in that end.
Very much so. Kept the pressure on for the balance of the end there, and. Again, for the first event, and I give credit to the ice a little bit too, and the players. They obviously didn't come into this event off the couch. They've obviously done a little bit of work in the off season here, but they're playing very well for the start of the season.
So Flasch on top, 2-1. Now last rock going to Matt Dunstone here for number 3. In the other game, Sean Meacham and Cody Hartung are tied at 2s. They're late in the third end over there. Meacham going in with a 1-1 record, and Cody Hartung facing a must-win situation with an 0-2 mark. So good game going on over there as well. Dustin Kidby, a nice little chip and roll.
Beauty, buddy. Good pair.
That's the other issue, and that's, again, the protocols that are in place because of COVID-19. The opposing skip cannot sweep a stone out of the rings. That's taken some getting used to, I have to admit.
I have watched some of the stream coming in here too, where I was yelling at the skip to get back there and get at it, and of course it's just reaction. And I would think sooner or later we'll see someone dive in there and sweep one. But
well, we just heard Matt Dunstone say, "I'd really like for this to get out." So
we're rolling outwards if anything.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm going to talk about this because I always found it interesting. I worked for years with Steve Laycock, who suggested why don't we do that anyway? All the controversy in curling, and maybe we need a little bit, was from the tee line back where teams were banging into each other, lots and lots of fights back there. And ultimately his comment was that little bit of sweeping we do from the tee line back doesn't really matter. It's just what we do. And he said this rule should have been implemented before COVID.
Well, it's interesting watching some skips. I know that when I'm out there playing and there's a rock that's a little bit heavy and there's nothing you can do about it, so our skip will just stand back there and just kind of wave at it and back and forth, and maybe the breeze will take it out.
Yeah, most of them aren't built for sweeping, that's for sure.
No. And personally, I like the one sweeper rule too. It's saving me.
Yeah, I would think the average curler who doesn't go at it too hard doesn't mind that at all.
As mentioned, in a bonspiel such as this, where the players are together and have kind of formed their own bubble, then they are using two sweepers.
No.
Real nice.
My guess is there's probably more danger coming to the rink than there is actually out there. But I mean, the players have totally understood that they don't, nobody wants to take any risks and nobody knows what's going on. And part of this event was when you walk in the rink is with your masks, you separate. There's just a lot of people that are working hard to make this a fun and safe event and trying to develop the next great, I guess, Saskatchewan curling team that's going to go out and dominate. These kids are at the right age to be playing great and have got some opportunity to become some super teams out of Saskatchewan.
That was a wonderful shot from Kevin Marsh right there. The little tap, roll in behind. That is perfectly buried top of the forefoot.
That was a gem.
Got a curl, boys. Top 12. Top 12.
Got a curl.
Top 8.
Big trouble on line right now. Just hook it. Just hook it. Shoot.
Great weight.
Good weight by Kirk, but he certainly didn't get line on that when he had to get it on that yellow stone a little bit.
Normal. Normal.
Normal? Okay. Can I be high at all?
What's that?
Can I be high at all?
Yeah, I won't touch this. You'll dead jam.
Okay.
Normal. Right on the nose. Oh!
Clean. Oh, close.
Yep! Yep! Yes! Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
It's by. Jam at the back.
My hat off to Darren Gress, who makes ice here at the Highland. This has got, and it also makes it a lot of the high profile events. But the beauty of it for the players is this is the kind of ice that you'll see at Grand Slam events and particularly at national events, which means straight up, you can put it in the middle of the stone as soon as you throw a weight, and your draws will come right across the sheet. So if we can expose our young players to this at our top end players, there's a good chance of them coming into those events ready.
Well, in those big events, I mean, you're seeing ice like that. I mean, you're better prepared.
Yes, yep. I think that's been a concern for a while, and now we're really getting there, and we're really getting some great ice in this province.
Braden Muskoway going for the double.
Sit.
And, oh boy, that was almost buried perfectly. It did peek out the other side, but still a great shot from Braden Muskoway.
Tell with the big weight there, it just wouldn't stop. When it looked like he had a nose hit, it just kept twisting and just twisted out into the open a little bit, but still a great shot.
Now, as he left a double.
Whoa! Whoa! Yep! Yep! Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
Got it.
Good shot.
Shooter rolls out as well.
Be interesting to see what Matt does with this. I like the call. It's an odd end. It's an opportunity here to get out with a blank. That rock is in perfect position right on the center line. And one that Colton could run back if you don't get in there good. So I love the idea of peeling it, playing for the blank, and getting hammer back on the even ends, which is 4, 6, and 8, in theory. In theory. Well, I'll tell you, Warren, this is the first wide open shot we've had in this game. If the last half is as good as the first half, it's going to be a pleasure.
Well, as we mentioned off the top, Lyle and I have covered a few tankards over the years in Global, and there was a time when there was no three-rock rule in place at all, and we saw a lot of this. Yep. It was kind of hard to stay awake.
Well, I always did. I'm not saying you always did, Warren.
No. Well, and this is the way you love to play. This is the way that you grew up playing was open sheets, as you were taught. They don't count if they're in the corner. You know, and it's a great way to play. And I still think it takes a skill to do that. It's a talent to be able to keep it clean. Yep. But to watch, something had to be done.
It would, no question. And I think I laugh. At that time, of course, I didn't want to play three-rock either. And the reason was, we were making good money playing wide open curling, and it wasn't very hard on you. I'm going to say this. People might be a little bit find this something you shouldn't maybe be talking about. But I found the other part of that was that you could go out after the game, have some fun at night, have a few drinks with the other teams, have a few laughs, stay out a little later, and then the next morning, all you needed to do was concentrate. The game didn't take every ounce of energy out of you. Today, these guys physically and mentally leave that ice tired. Mm-hmm. And so it's more of a business than the years we played. It was more fun. A lot of Briars guys would come and watch the first two ends, then go to the patch, come back for the 9th and 10th and hope somebody choked. That was the game.
Gosh, it has changed so much over the years, hasn't it?
Yep. I give credit to the guys, and you can tell it on them. They play 2 games a day, and they're only 8-end games, but everybody has to be sharp. Just can't leave anything out there, and they're truly professionals today. I would think we thought ourselves as professionals, but certainly the game has taken another step, and it from a spectator's standpoint, it's outstanding.
Which would explain why these guys spend more time getting in shape, staying in the gym and working out. We didn't really know what a gym was back in those days.
We heard about them.
Yeah.
Just clean it. Just clean. Clean.
But again, the other factor, and a lot of people that would have played the game back then do understand that we didn't have this type of surface everywhere you went. For people in Regina, where we often came up here and played lots and made a lot of money in the big cash deals that were up here, there was a lot of rinks that were the surface underneath wasn't flat. And, I remember playing in the old, for anybody that's really old that can remember playing in the old Curlodrome.
Oh, yeah.
That was an adventure, and we won lots of money there because the ice wasn't real good. Where the ice was good, we didn't win much money.
Yeah, when you had to call negative ice on certain situations, it didn't really matter for a team that could just bang away the way you guys could, for sure.
We simplified it, for sure.
Well, Matt Dunstone getting ready to throw his final stone here and looking to blank this third end. This is pretty much a routine shot for these guys.
It's quite amazing. It's just clean, throw clean. So can you imagine the game without 5-rock now?
Yeah.
Be throwing clean. If you can hold your concentration.
It's a blank end, so Colton Flasch continues to lead it 2-1 through 3 ends of play. Last rock still belongs to Matt Dunstone. This is the Vaderstad Saskatchewan Super Series presented by Calidon Leasing here on the Curling Zone.
At RenewMyPlates.com, get it out of the way. What do you say? RenewMyPlates.com. The family's making plans and they're gonna need a ride. Don't let license renewal keep you on the sidelines. Renew your plates at RenewMyPlates.com. Anytime, anywhere. Suit and tie or underwear. RenewMyPlates.com. So easy peasy lemon squeezy. RenewMyPlates.com.
He's covering everything that matters to you. It's the Rod Peterson Show. Tune in live Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to noon to catch the show live and be a part of the action. Take control by commenting live and sharing the show with your friends.
Welcome back to the Highland Curling Club in Regina for the Vaderstad Saskatchewan Super Series. Warren Woods along with Lyle Myers reunited again here as we are being treated to a pretty good curling game between two of the province's elite teams, Colton Flasch and the defending provincial champion, Matt Dunstone. Both teams 1-1 going into this game, so pivotal matchup here this afternoon, Lyle.
Yeah, for sure. It's a good matchup. It's about each team learning a little bit about each other and themselves, and trying to, I guess, get some dominance on the other guy that you know you're going to be meeting a few times as we go through the process right now.
Of course, two teams that know each other so well in terms of buddies on both sides, so they know each other. But when you get on the ice, it's like any other sport, right? You can be best of friends off the ice, but when you get on there, you want to win pretty badly, probably more so when you're playing against friends.
Yes, and I think that is the case with this group. Both of them want to win this game in a big way.
Nobody wants to win it more than Catlin Schneider, I would have to think, and we've talked about that earlier, but of course dropped by the Dunstone team, so he's now playing for Colton Flasch and probably has quite a bit of motivation going into this game, but it won't be the first, that's for sure. I mean, there'll be plenty more opportunities to go against this team, but this is the first one, so we'll see how it plays out.
And the fourth end here is a key end for both teams, or particularly for Dunstone. He'll press pretty good. Colton went with double centers once the corner went up, so that's the defense. And again, it's about letting each other know that whatever you do, we are going to be a little better at it, and that's kind of where they've approached this. So.
Well, that was the call, a little tick shot from Dustin Kidby, which has become an art as well, getting those stones off the center line and keeping your rock, everything in play. Because if something's removed, of course, that would have to go back.
I will say this about the game. It's been a great game, but one player is shining right now, and that is Dustin. He has been making ticks. He's been playing come-arounds. His freezes are on the face, and they're square. He has had a great game so far.
It's there, it's tough. There's not even two rocks there. I mean, you can tap this too. I just don't like drawing to that hole. It's not that easy. You can tap the center. Right, like you tap it.
I'm not worried about the holes, even if we kick this. We roll in here. That's not the worst option.
No.
Like we're trying to avoid them getting.
I agree. I mean, this is the best, but.
They're going to take it right at the double field and they go,
Yeah, I think this is the same as this. Yeah.
Like I don't mind that. You play it here wide.
Let's go here.
Push this here and roll here.
Yeah, right here. Right on the button. Right on the button. Right on the button.
Looks like the draw through the hole is the call.
Yeah, I understand their concern about playing through the hole. They rub either stone, and it's just going to come out in the open and give Dunstone the opportunity to roll. But I don't see anything else. They know this spot. They've played it quite a few times. That hole is big enough that it shouldn't really come into play, I don't think. The interesting shot is if this one is good on top four, whether Matt freezes it or runs that yellow onto yellow through the center guard through.
Hey, line's good. Line's good. Line's perfect.
Well, we've seen Matt make some pistols over the the last year or so, haven't we? Going back to the Brier and the Grand Slam event.
He's been crazy good at that.
Cat, go, Cat, go. Go, go, go!
Well, it's through the hole all right, and where will it end? Pretty good stone, top 8 foot. And that is buried.
I know watching some of the teams, some of the top-level teams who got all the shots, the trick that I've seen them starting to watch Matt and watch him play, and they started to get to the point where they wouldn't leave him something for the win. They didn't care how crazy it was. You just don't leave it for him. So there was some different changes, I thought, that the teams were starting to play against him, not leaving him that tremendous shot, a difficult run, raise, double, whatever, because he was making them.
Well, you can't help but think about that shot he made for 4 against BC at the Brier last year. And how they snatched victory from the jaws of defeat in that one. Run back double from Kirk Myers right there. Very nice.
And the good thing from Kirk's side is that he got it off the center line a little bit, so that's going to open up the button area, and it leaves a blue one out in front. So I think Maddie's going to be pretty I realize that there's a lot of stuff out in front, but it's always going to be there. And now Matt's got some opportunities to be aggressive with with Braden's first stone. With Kirk's second stone.
T-line! Line's good! We got room!
Dan and Kevin have done a real good job this game, too, of not slipping deep with their stones. They've been working the top of the tee line, and that has always left the Flash team in good spot.
So another good one here.
Shot.
Top 4, front of the tee line, and partially buried.
I like it. Halfway, boys, hit a third of a stone.
You know, if you can get around this and perhaps get a roll behind those 2 guards over here on the
Just through the ring.
right-hand side.
And that's what Maddie started by playing that tick and that corner guard out there, setting up that wall on the outturn, or on the left-hand side of the sheet.
Whoa!
Ooh.
A little too much weight.
Sit down, baby.
Didn't get what he needed there. He moved it off the 4-foot, but certainly not what he wanted.
No.
Needed another inch or so of curl.
So now an opportunity perhaps for the Flash team to get a force here.
Yeah, if he wraps this one good, top 4. There's still 4 rocks to come, though, so I think Matt's still sitting in a good spot. He's got the center line, or the button open, a couple rocks out in front that he can use. Because even if Kirk would have made that roll, if they get around this real good, it takes that away, so...
Another good shot from Catlin Schneider right there.
Huh? Yeah, once it goes, it just takes forever. So.
It's a little straighter on that in-turn side. You could see it was just waiting, and at the end, I mean, great movement, but it takes a little more time getting there.
Muskoway playing the run back. Well, he got that stone off the 4-foot. I think he would have loved to have a roll in behind those guards.
Crazy good, and yet another, again, as in both of those stones, Kirk gets another inch of roll, he'd be behind the corners. Braden gets another inch of curl, it's bang, bang, and he's sitting in great shape. So it's been one of those ends where you feel like, I know if I'm sitting in Colton shoes, I'm uncomfortable with it. A couple sets of corner guards. even end. Still have a good opportunity. They got 3 stones, and I always think that the best opportunity to score deuces in this game today is that with the last 3 stones, you can have the end set up early. Somehow somebody's going to come along with a great freeze or something and take away some of those stones. So I think...
that may be buried a bit better and it'd be behind 2 staggered guards.
It's in a great spot. I want...
We just got to freeze it, eh? Play the top ones. I don't mind the hit either. Yeah. I'm liking the.
Plug it there. You should have half of that open.
I like your first call.
Think you get it into here.
I love it.
Just throw it here.
I'd say it's soft. I don't go
Half rock.
half or off. Oh, just to bring off that angle or to bring off that.
Like the call, just it's really difficult. I always find it tough enough to draw in there, let alone tap 2 stones, roll open, and have it buried.
Well, he's not throwing a ton of weight at this.
Nope.
Hack weight was the call, I believe.
I think the ice surface is good enough here, but I think a lot of curlers will know when you're moving 2 stones, it depends upon how long they sit there too, and the nature of the surface is how hard you have to hit them.
Heavy hack. Yep.
They're froze down a little bit, they just don't move.
Yep. Yeah.
Heavy hack.
Forward.
Get off of there. Okay.
The old story, a great curling stone. Threw it very well, weight really close, but just a couple feet too much to stick it.
It's not terrible.
Very precise shot.
Whew.
When it comes to weight, anyway.
You got line and weight in that shot, and
I mean, if we're here, it doesn't matter.
and a question mark of how much weight is the right amount of weight.
Exactly. Same ice as you, I think it's really good. That was just inside edge 4. Edge of 4. While we're guarding it, though. We're kind of going, hit and roll in the house.
You don't want to let him hack and roll.
It is what it is. I don't want to put it up here, I don't think either. Then, no, because if I put it here, then he's just drawing around being shot, too. Yeah, sure. But if we put it, if he makes it perfect here and we freeze, he's got the whole 4 foot.
He's right though. If you go here, he's hacking and rolling all day. So if you kind of have to go here then, and then roll this one, so he's behind the tee.
I'm good with this. I'm good with this right here. Tight's fine. The action roll. He's got to make it perfect, and I still have it out. If he makes the hack and roll, I still have an out. If I throw a guard and he makes it perfect, there is no out. Tight guard.
Colton Flasch has a 1-point lead here in the 4th, but
yeah, edge of 4.
Dunstone has last rock.
It kind of feels like they've been a little more in control of this game. They've got real good rock positioning early, and we haven't seen Kirk or Braden make a real big shot yet. They've been around, they've been throwing them good, they've been getting right weight, but they haven't been getting the results that they need yet.
It seems like they're chasing.
Yep, a little bit.
Ball's okay.
Let it work all day. Line will be good. Line will be good. Okay? You gotta let it dive all day. Let it curl and leave it in high top.
No.
It's pretty much where he wanted it.
I think it is. As Colton said, though, I mean, you can't take everything away, and by doing this, it gives Matt an opportunity to make a shot for 2.
Hey, Matty, 15-footer.
I guess if he gets in there good, Colton plays a run back, which is only around 6 feet or so, but still has to be made a lot more difficult than a straight up shot, and so I think Colton seems pretty happy with positioning on it.
I would say probably 15 and quarter.
Do you have to be in front of the tee line? Can you afford to slip back to back of the tee line, and as long as you're still shot and buried?
I think you're okay as long as you're far enough back. I don't think you want to be just back butt, and all of a sudden Colton locks one on the inside of that and puts a steal in here on an even end, and then it's going to be a long game. So you need to score on this end. It's all that's happened is in the first half then would be is you've given up hammer. It's taken 4 ends and you've lost hammer so far, so that's not just too bad.
Tee line.
Weight's good.
Tee. Gotta go a bit.
Yep, go ahead. Hard line. Line's really good.
Boy, that's a pistol.
It's about the spot you wanted, I think, Kim.
But as you say, that's...
There's the center.
Yeah.
Attaboy. Yeah.
Leaves the run back.
Yeah, it's your run
one.
right to throw it. Yeah, center rock. Yeah.
It didn't take Colton long to decide what he wanted. He hadn't decided when that rock, when he threw the guard up there, he was prepared for this, so...
Right on the beat.
And he's always been a strong hitter.
Yep, this is his shot. That you don't want to hear on that straight ice.
Oh. Uh-oh. Nope. Right out of his hand, they said no, so he must have been a little wide.
Yep, a little inside out, and when you're throwing that up weight, it's just down the sheet here. I wouldn't say you can get away with tipping it in either. I mean, you just got to throw it good, but you do know inside out with weight on this type of ice, you're not making that shot, and that's I think Catlin knew when he let it go, and it didn't take Colton long to realize it as well.
Well, that's a shot that he normally makes 9 times out of 10. 10 out of 10 maybe. That time.
That's his shot, and he'll make that a lot. I think it's one of those things. Again, it might be an early season thing, but as a rule, he'll make that shot. And credit to Matty, great positioning on his. Couldn't have carried it down better. Did all he could, and now it's setting up a skipper's deuce.
And he should know the weight. He's just throwing this shot. So.
Good though.
Probably tee by itself.
Sweeper seemed to like it.
We're good, aren't we?
And now they're working at it. Can we get it there?
I think he's got good weight.
Keep it going. Keep it going.
Good boy.
Just enough.
Mm-hmm. Wouldn't have to leave it too much.
No, exactly. But it is the deuce for Matt Dunstone, and as mentioned, it was an opportunity taking advantage of the missed run back by Colton Flasch. Gets his deuce, and now has the lead again, 3-2. We'll be back to the Highland Curling Club and more coverage of the Vaderstad Saskatchewan Super Series, presented by Calidon Leasing right after this.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
building a deeper connection with our fans by putting them in the show. It's a new era of sports talk. The Rod Peterson Show airs from 10 to noon, Monday to Friday on Facebook Live. Join the conversation today and tune in. Online, on your phone, at home, at work, follow us on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. And subscribe on YouTube for all the content you want to watch. Don't wait, do it right now.
Warren Woods and Lyle Byers with you here for the Saskatchewan Super Series. Here at the Highland Curling Club, we're going to end number 5 with Matt Dunstone holding a 3-2 lead. And last rock now belongs to Colton Flasch. Good to see some elite curling again, isn't it?
It sure is. It was one of the things that when, for me personally, that I struggle with a little bit is I love watching curling and I love watching CFL football. And I don't have the CFL football and I'm missing the curling, and it's nice to see the boys back at it. And again, on this surface, on this type of format, playing out there, doing it safely, it is, I think everybody has thought of everything to make sure it works.
Well, it's been a good game. There have been some very good shots for this early in the season. There have been a couple that I'm sure some guys would like to have back, but you expect that, and that's all part of a good curling game. I mean, you're not going to make them all. They try to. That's the goal.
I recall this really clearly when we were working with Steve Laycock's team. I had Dallin and Kirk and Colton and Jeff Stoughton worked with us as a guest coach one weekend in Portage La Prairie, and you know, Colton particularly really looked up to Jeff, as all the boys did. But after the game we won, we played a great game. It was just unreal out there. And after Jeff complimented the guys, he said, "Boy, you played well." Well, Colton said, he said they missed. Well, Jeff goes, in all the years I curled, I don't remember winning a lot of games where the other team didn't miss. It was just one of those things where that is the game, is when the miss comes. If it's at an opportune time, the rest of the guys out there have to make shots. They got to set it up. They got to be able to sweep. It's a team game, but ultimately it's a skipper's game. It comes down to those last couple shots. Yep. And there we seen the deuce come out of 2 very good shots by Maddie, but also, which were, again, sweeping team shots. But the fact that Colton made that run back 6 inches wide. And,
we don't have a statistician here, but I suspect that the percentages would be fairly high today. Although, as mentioned, Colton Flasch missed a run back that he would normally make probably with his eyes shut, and he missed it. So that set up the deuce for Matt Dunstone, and here we go. Flasch will try and get that back. He has 1 stone, top of the 4-foot, is partially open. Dunstone calling for the freeze here.
He was thinking hacking it out of there and rolling outside, but I think there's too much risk there. Don't want to let anyone out of this end either. You want to try to get a force in the odd end. And he also knows Colton will continue to try to dive under that center guard.
I gotta go. I hooked it. Okay.
Ooh. Yeah, Kirk doesn't like that one. He knew right out of his hand.
I'd probably leave it. Curl, Braden. Curl, Braden. Curl, Braden.
Keep going.
Now, just for those at home, what does he mean by hooking it? He just rolled it over?
He must have got caught in his hand a little bit and probably caught it with the back of the handle and twisted it over. You could tell, frankly, Kirk's a young curler. He's, I think, around 30 years old. And if he was a veteran like me, he'd have said, I think that picked.
No, I didn't.
Where is the seasoning? My God. When I throw one like that, I am
you
definitely.
Didn't teach him very well.
I sure didn't.
My thought, as long as you can put it in a place that doesn't make the run easy.
My other thought was this.
What's that?
My other thought was this, but then they freeze
like
it.
That.
What?
I like your first instinct there. Where do we got to be? Top 8?
Yeah. He's running this in there, but
it's crazy that as bad as that shot was, it probably ended up in a decent spot for him.
Yeah, same thing.
And this might come back into here.
Sure. Okay.
Kevin Marsh.
Top 8.
Top 8's perfect. Lots of room.
Weight's good.
Lots of room.
Might have to go for weight.
Lots of room. We got to wait.
I think they'd like to get this
Gotta
on pretty
curl.
square because I think
It's
Matt is
gotta
going to
curl. Line's getting
be forced
good,
to
but still
play
has
a
to
run
curl.
back here, and if they're not squared up, he'll
Whoa,
be able
you
to double
can't
them
bounce.
off.
Curl. Okay.
Well, that opportunity is there, is it
Yep.
not?
Yep, it is.
Hey, Kirky. All right, should run straight up for me. Yep. We'll go behind it, Maddie. Run straight up for me.
This is a little like Colton's spot here. Is you got to throw it clean. If you put any garbage on it, you'll miss it.
Jeez. That is bad news.
Yeah, there was a way to miss that one. That wasn't the way, unfortunately. Missed it by an inch, but the wrong side of it. Whew.
Right here.
Boy, this is set up pretty good for Colton Flasch all of a sudden.
It sure is. They'll need a big running stick.
Yeah.
Again, it might be early. I always talk about when you're in really bad shape, you just count the stones you got left. You can turn it over. If you're getting late in the end, you start to look for a miracle. But here you've got some opportunities yet.
Weight's pretty good.
Line's good.
A little heavy.
Just got him back 8. Line's really good. We got room though. No, line's great. Play the weight. Don't worry about the line. Dan's rock, if anyone. No.
Maddie wants to get in there and sweep it, but you can't.
Matt, why didn't you sweep that harder? Good. No.
You saw him sweeping, but of course not hitting the rock. It's just a little motion, just to encourage it somehow.
I think it slid a little too far. I think it's fourth stone. But I could be wrong. That's not the...
No.
Hopefully he doesn't have what Kirk has there. It's close again.
I got one.
Not bad.
I don't know if that's shot back there or not.
Well, Colton seemed to think it. He tapped the yellow one, so...
Well, I think you go like top full 8 out turn and try to hook it
Close.
a bit, right?
Right here is good.
I think Catlin had the right idea there. Get it around, keep some separation so you can't make a run double.
A little bit of room right now.
We definitely got room.
Easy early if you can.
I like to wait.
Go ahead, line's not bad. Go ahead. Switch and go.
Got to curl.
Switch.
Hard then. Whoa. Just right here. Yep. Oh, you're good. He really set that one. Yeah.
Catlin Schneider celebrating a birthday today. 29 years old. Love to celebrate with a win in this one. I'll tell you.
Yep. It's as I talk about the elite teams in Saskatchewan right now, you just got to love the age groups that they're in. Young Cody Hartung's team, these two teams. Sean Meacham's got a good young team with them. Of course,
Got a good one, Deuce.
Kleider is just getting into men's curling, so the future is really, really bright right now for our group.
Good throw, bud.
Well, Muscowie with another run back again. He gets one, but not two. So,
you know, Braden's throwing I think 2 or 3 run backs in a row now here, which is no picnic. Made them very close and just didn't quite get the result. I think they overswept that one a little bit. But when you're talking about the run back of that distance, there's really nothing there till about halfway down, and then you kind of realize where the stone's going to go or what it's going to do. And
line's good.
Missed it again, maybe by a half inch on the top stone.
I like the line.
Clean.
We got room.
Line's good. Easy.
Top 8.
Line's real good.
Line's perfect.
Curl. You gotta curl now.
No, line's perfect. Line is perfect.
Dan's rock.
Yeah.
Line it up.
I get to curl.
Line it up.
Yep. Hard, Dan. Hard. Great shot.
Very nice. Top 8.
I think they got it in a really good spot, and that double is going right back onto that blue stone.
Yeah. Checking the other game for you, it's Sean Meacham now with a 3, make that a 4-3 lead over Cody Hartung over here on sheet 2. Looks like a steal of 1 for Meacham in the 5th end. He's looking to go to 2-1, and Hartung facing a must-win. He 0-2 coming into this game, so still plenty to be decided over there.
Bang, bang, bang. I'm pretty happy with that. All right. Got a good sense of this? Yeah. Let's go, bud. We need you. Take your time, commit to it.
It'll be interesting. I would think both stones that have come back here, both Kirk and Braden may have tossed them back just a little bit, and you got to be careful that Matt doesn't turn this one over the top. Give it a little start, and instead of holding it there, it over curls. That's the tendency, because that's what Matty would have seen.
Well, we've seen Matt Dunstone make a ton of these
Hard deuce.
over the last
Hard
year.
deuce. Come on.
Looks like that's over curled.
That's not ridiculous, actually.
Not bad.
Might be as good as anything. He's got a chance. He doesn't have to rock either way.
And that's, you just think of Matt seeing those last 2 just run too straight for Braden and Kirk, and then just made probably a little correction. And his curled, and all 3 of those stones were missed by really nothing. And when you're on a roll as a team, when eventually you'll get to the point where you'll make 3 of those in a row.
He's playing the blue.
Let him play this. This goes across the top and jam.
If he's dead nuts, it makes the double. No? No, you're right. Okay.
This is a shot, right?
Okay, yep.
Halfway.
Edge 8.
You guys see anything else? Like you can go wide and go back here, but he's gonna make that.
Colton Flasch has last rock here in this 5th end.
Stop to make the double and roll it. I don't hate that. You're guaranteed to do.
I mean, if you can get here, like not to it, so that if he plays this, he's never shot over this. It's really good.
Guard's pretty good too, though. He might throw a yellow in there too, try to make the triple.
Yeah, I like the guard. They've thrown it like 6 times in a row.
Still, it's not easy out here. You throw it.
Okay, what does he do if we go here? He just tries to make the double and gives us.
He's just gonna rip the double, probably goes 2.
That's more chance for 3.
Pretty easy double, but yeah.
He's probably gonna get 1. For sure.
Well, the initial call was a guard.
No,
Yes.
He was jamming all day.
Guard gives a good chance for 3.
Never played. He's going to run that if we throw it.
Maybe, but I doubt it.
He can't. I don't think he can get. Maybe he can get.
What do you like?
Missed guard, you get a force.
It's either this.
Matty's got to make a double, but
This is more. That's more of a chance. We also for him to make the run.
Hard to make the triple. Like, he's got to make the triple, and probably coming into there, but then I can't get rid of this, I don't think, is the only issue.
I like this.
I like the card.
Went back to his first thought.
Yeah.
And,
Okay, do we want to take a hair left?
Edge 8.
Okay. Where are we airing? Which side? Probably show him a hair on the inside of anything, right?
Show him a
This
hair
side.
of either side, doesn't matter.
Like right there.
Can't show him half.
Right here, boys.
Yeah, halfway. Make the run back as long as possible.
Halfway, hair tighter than that's okay, but halfway is real nice, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so the guard's the call, and you saw where Catlin Schneider tapped the broom, so see if Flasch can get it there. His first stone here in the 5th.
Line's good.
I like to wait.
Line's good.
Line's good. Line's good.
That's all you need to hear is line's good,
Keep it
so as
okay.
long as the depth can be anywhere,
in,
and I think it forces Matt into
Over and off then.
Line's
a
good.
blue
No,
run back.
Line's
I don't want to
good.
be that tight.
Line's good.
No, you gotta stop. Gotta stop. Really gotta stop. Sit. Sit. Ah, pretty good.
That takes away the blue run back, actually. I think that's the best shot.
Yeah, I think so.
Get rid of one of them. It's three now. Middle rock, eh? Just a hair soft with you there? Or you like to throw?
I like that. I just didn't want to sweep it early. I've seen it now.
Yeah.
Oh, thought Kirk and Matt were going to, there was going to be trouble.
You betcha.
Well, this is what Matt's good at. If he makes it perfect, it's a run back and he'll have a force, but...
we heard him say he would just be happy to get rid of one
Sure.
of them.
Sure, I agree with that. It's you don't want to give up the 3-ender. 2, you can come back. You got hammer on even ends, but I like, and I think that's why Colton wanted that one a little longer, but still a very good shot on his part. As I say, I'm not sure it isn't better because the blue run would have been Matty's shot, and I think if he makes it really good, the force would have been on as well.
Close.
Yep. Whoa.
Yep. Yes.
Oh, my.
Beauty.
Great shot. It still leaves the draw for 2, but
Nice shot, Matty. Good throw, bud.
Sorry, guys.
that's pretty good.
That's pretty good. I think they were, to be honest, I think they were playing it the other way. Otherwise, they might have had a little more sweep on it. And I think, but again, still a real good result. I think they have to be very pleased with that.
Same line. Yeah.
Good throw. Might have jammed the hair though a little thinner. Line's good.
Thought I
Get a
was
glide
there.
real good here.
I thought I was there. No.
This is one
Can't
where
be
you're
heavy.
really pleased that the other guy can't sweep. Because this is the shot that actually matters.
Jesus.
Uh-oh.
Slobber.
Too heavy. Oh, my.
I hate. I'll talk about it later. A great comment by Colton.
Oh, that's 2 opportunities that Colton Flasch has had, and he slams his broom in disgust back there as he's only getting 1. Should have been an easy deuce. Instead, it's a tie game. It's now 3-all through 5, and last rock going to Matt Dunstone. This is the Vaderstad Saskatchewan Super Series, presented by Calidon Leasing.
Core Grain, we strive to be the most qualified grain storage and grain conditioning experts in Canada. Visit us today at coregrain.ca. Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm.
Welcome back to the Highland Curling Club in Regina for the Vaderstad Saskatchewan Super Series, which is presented by Calidon Equipment Leasing. Warren Woods, Lyle Myers, the 1986 Saskatchewan champion, is here. And opportunity lost for Colton Flasch. He's actually had a couple of opportunities that shots that he would normally make have gotten away from him. He had the short run back in 5, which he missed. That allowed Dunstone to get his deuce, and then an opportunity to respond with 2, and just heavy.
That's always the killer. It's kind of a snowball effect. I think a little bit too, unless the team is really solid and really mentally in a good place. Is when that skip gives away an easy point.
Pretty good.
It has a trickle down effect where everybody's feel a little nicked mentally, and it was interesting. I heard Colton mutter the word clubber. And for anybody that knows, I worked with the Marsh boys, and they would always call each other that when they made a really dumb shot or a really bad shot or something like that. Oh, we're just clubbers. And now it's rubbing off to Colton, too.
I resemble that remark.
I always found it funny because I said, I hear you. But unfortunately, that clubber type thing slips into the game fairly often on the pros.
Well, and we see even professional golfers, professionals at any level and in any sport make mistakes that they just normally wouldn't make, that you'd see at the lower levels. But it does happen even to the best players. So
mistakes are about all sports. When somebody makes a mistake, what the other team does with it is as big a factor as anything, right?
Good shot, bud.
So it's a golden opportunity here now for Matt Dunstone, who has the hammer in the 6th end and in tie game, which is still up for grabs. And I think that would have to be, like, as demoralizing and that might be for the Flash team, you have to realize that you're still in a 3-all game and anything can still happen. There's still lots of curling left.
I just this shot kind of, I don't disagree with it. He's playing a come around here, and it might be one where you could hit and roll underneath and keep the game well in control. But I think, I understand what Colton's feeling right now. And again, I'm not even saying it's the wrong shot. I'm just saying it's a very aggressive shot, which usually follows up when you're just a little bit angry with yourself, right? Now I'm going to go make something happen. And this is definitely gets in there, and he's got the pressure on Matty. But
Line's good. It's all you. Right here.
And they've been really good. The Marsh boys have been really good at this shot today.
Curl, hard, curl and go.
Had the draw weight, no question. Kevin really socks one in there. This is the 5th rock of the end coming, so this rock can be removed. Kirk Myers will try and do that.
A little bit, dude. No. Shot.
it'll be interesting at some point here if, unless they get this really long and right back in that same position, Dunstone will play the double peel, and when they make the double peel, I would think Colton will then have to go to the hitting second stone.
Weight's good.
And I know Matty knows the numbers. If you're one up playing 6 against the pros, you're going to win a lot of those curling games.
Line's perfect. Over curling.
They get over the line too.
Go, 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 go.
Nope.
It's not that good.
Hog Stone.
Feels like a little bit, and we talked about that, Warren, just briefly, is when Colton missed that draw. It has that deflating effect on everybody. It affects everybody on the ice, and I think we're seeing a little bit of that. In all fairness, that might be made up in my head too, but I just, it's one of those things that you often see. It takes a little bit to get over, and again, with a new team, they'll have to figure that out.
Close.
Clean. Yep.
Kevin Marsh not too happy with himself as he's banging his broom on the way back into position.
Get out.
Right. Well,
sure.
Myers made contact, but he didn't get it out of there.
I certainly would like to have removed it. They just couldn't sweep it. They needed that to curl, and I think Kirk threw it a little bit inside out, and they weren't allowed, couldn't get on it early, and he is sitting 2, but Catlin has a chance for a double. Yep.
Yeah.
Whoa! Whoa!
Schneider makes
Nice
the double,
shot.
and the Flash team now lying 2.
Again, Maddie's got to be fairly happy with the situation, though. He's got what I would consider to be a corner guard up there. It's a good foot and a half off the center line. Not a lot of danger. Can take a little chance here.
Yep.
And if worse comes to worse, you get forced into 1 or a blank.
Just easy. Clean. Yep. Little soft. Whoa. Whoa. Little soft. Clean.
Yep.
Whoa. It's pretty close. Clean. Yeah. Hard. Yep. Yep. Whoa.
That might be better than actually rolling over in front of the yellow one.
Oh, and it spun back. Looked like it might peek out the other side, but it came back in, and that rock is kind of pretty much buried.
Where is it? Where's the rock?
Good team. They're both good. I'm good with this too. This is really good as well.
I think the freeze is the one they have to. I think is a better shot in that it gives you a chance for a steal and certainly sets up the force.
And they want one berry. I'm just saying, if we don't make this perfect, it's probably What's your feeling? Okay, let's run it.
I think it comes down, and I think that was a good conversation. It comes down to what the thrower feels. If they know the ice and know the spot, which I don't think you would on the edge of the 4, that run back, they've played a few times, they probably get a pretty good feel for it. It's about what you make. It's really either shot is fine, but whatever you call, you got to make.
Yep. 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 Well,
No.
Oh. That wasn't good.
No. Didn't take a real good pass at that one.
No, and takes his own yellow stone out as well, so Dunstone still lying the 1.
Get the depth right. Split team. Split team late. Yep.
14 for Wade, so it's running about 24 then.
Yep. And I think the one thing, the beauty of this ice is, and it's the beauty about curling in Saskatchewan too, is low humidity conditions. Generally, the outsides aren't frosty, and so no matter where you go on the sheet, the weight is about the same.
We're going to be okay, I think.
Looks like Braden doesn't want to look at this. It's going to be fine.
It should be okay, but anything but
Can't
on
go
the tee
deep.
line is going to set up a double. So he didn't get quite as far out as they would have liked. No, I didn't see for sure whether it was Braden's throw or whether it was just that as much. That's the amount of curl you have going to the outside.
No double there, so.
I'd throw it a little harder so you stay higher, right? Like normal.
Technically there.
Might as well throw peel at
There's no peel. I think it's there.
it. Yeah, just roll close to it.
Yeah.
Even if you go right to here.
Yeah.
Pretty good, right?
Good conversation between Colton and Catlin. Looks like they've been played together all their lives. But he makes a good point. If you're going to miss it, hit it full.
Roll beside it. The double's probably there, but no. Well, I mean, ideally.
Can he throw the weight to make that double?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know whether he's there in terms of his delivery and everything, but Colton can bring heat.
No.
Bit of an angle, but it's not completely flat. So.
Oh, and here it comes.
Yep. Really hard.
This is not This is not what Colton wanted to do, because now if he stays anywhere in play, it sets up the double for the next one. And now Matty can get this split, and there's no way of getting away from a deuce. That to me is a bit of a mental mistake. You got it. Easy for me to say, but you've got to hit that one. If you're going to miss it, you got to miss it full.
Let's go, bud. Take your time. Let's go put it on the tee line.
Tee line, boys.
It's going to be that same path like 3 and 2.
Exactly. Yep.
Head down.
Yep, hard deuce. Come on, deuce. Yep, you gotta go head down.
Line's holding.
You gotta go deuce.
Still gotta get it there. I don't know if it's going to get to the tee line or not.
It's curling a little bit more than Braden, so if they can get it to the tee line, he'll be okay. But otherwise, Colton will get another run of the double here. I think he can make that one. In fact, I know he can make that one.
It's pretty thick.
I don't go. Like, they're pretty lively.
Yeah, I got to throw it hard.
Do you like the out or no?
No, I think the in.
Okay.
A little higher.
Two-thirds, yeah.
Nice little reminder by Kevin Marsh there is you get excited about the shot, but you really, as a group, not to know exactly where do I need to hit this.
2/3 it's got to be.
2/3 is perfect, but you
I think
almost
half
get
goes.
away with
I think half goes under. Yeah.
No.
Oh, no.
He could get a roll if he's a little full with that kind of weight. Could get a roll onto the face, but no, not quite.
No, he said no right out of his hands. So now it's a hit for two attempt coming up for Matt Dunstone.
On the what I always consider the big end, the sixth or in a 10-end game, the eighth end, if you can score two and go two up, you're in a great position. So it's a big shot for Matty to make.
Love it. Really nice. Yep, you betcha.
Final stone of the sixth end on its
Solid
way
board,
from
almost
Matt
easy.
Dunstone.
Close to easy.
Yep. Clean. Clean. Clean.
You like to hear that.
Yep.
Clean.
Attaboy, bud.
Very nice board. Weight on the nose.
That was just good
2
board.
points for Matt Dunstone, who
Good
now
shot.
takes
Just
a
good board. You're right on. It wasn't easy.
more from the Vaderstad Saskatchewan Super Series presented by Calidon Leasing right after this timeout.
Roofing. The most knowledgeable, the most experienced, the most trusted name in the business. Atlas Apex, the top choice for industrial, commercial, and institutional roofing. Atlas Apex specializes in re-roofing, restoration, full-service maintenance, and emergency repairs. Customer service is our top priority, taking care of our clients in a safe, efficient, and timely manner from coast to coast.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience. Find us at ddgregina.com.
Warren Woods, Lyle Myers with you here at the Highland Curling Club in Regina for the Saskatchewan Super Series, brought to you by Vaderstad and presented by Calidon Equipment Leasing. And right now, Matt Dunstone is in control, up 5-3 in the seventh. Colton Flasch has last rock here, and he's got to get something going, but yeah, he's got to feel a little bit rattled after some of the misses that he's made, which has allowed Dunstone to take the lead here.
Yeah, he hasn't missed them by a lot. They're difficult shots, but they're kind of in Colton's wheelhouse. So I think he's probably a little disappointed with the result. But again, it goes back to the fact that this is an initial event of the year. The players continue to are very fortunate to have this. I give a little tip of my hat to Dunstone and his sponsors for making sure this event happens and able to get some competition within the province. So it's that's great, but you've got to remember what level this is, and hopefully, I know our association is likely working very hard with the ministry here in Saskatchewan to see if we can't get our players to go out and play at, particularly in Western Canada, at some of the upcoming events here, so they can sharpen up, because the Olympic trials are coming up next fall, and as we sit today, if they don't play and don't get any points, which it feels like it might be getting there, is that Maddie's into the trials, which is in Saskatoon in 2021, I believe.
December 2021, yeah.
And so that is a big thing. And Colton's right now is sitting in pre-trials, so a couple wins for them early could vault them into the trials. So pre-trials are great, but I'm sure they would like to get their way. So we need to break out of this province and try to figure out a way to play safe. I get that, but we don't want to hold our good young teams back. So I'm sure our association is working hard to try to open those doors for them.
Right now, interprovincial travel for curling and for all other teams, for that matter, in any sport is not allowed, not permitted, and that's why the Super Series was developed, so that the best teams in the province could get together within the province and get some early competition in, and that's what they're trying to strive for right now, is to sharpen up a little bit. I suspect that there will be provincial competition for the women and the men. There will be, I think, a tankard, a Scott Tournament of Hearts. There's going to be mixed doubles. They have to, again, declare champions, because there has to be a national competition as well to declare these reps for the Roar of the Rings. I'm hearing, and I don't know, it hasn't been confirmed yet, but I'm hearing that like the Briar, the Scotties, the mixed doubles may be all under one bubble in Calgary coming up. That hasn't been made official yet. It's just something that I heard, but they've got to try and get, work around the regulations as best you can, keep everybody safe. Right. At the same time, you've got to get some people qualified here.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I understand, and everybody will talk about this. There's a lot of situations out there where there's a bit of where one situation doesn't apply to the other, inconsistency, and it's just a fact that this is just a moving target, and I sympathize with anyone in a position that has to make a decision on this, but these guys can go over and play golf over there, but they can't go over and curl. You know, for as recreational, and I like I say, I totally understand what everybody's trying to do here. And this event is a great example. The players are doing all their things. They're downstairs. They're isolated down there. They're wearing masks. They're doing everything they can, setting up their own team bubbles, and so everything's there. And the sponsorships have really worked hard to put this in place. So our players are getting some, but we still need to give them a chance to succeed at the national and world level and the Olympic level. We've got to open that door a little bit for them. And I think it'll happen, Warren. That's my thought too. The conversation just needs to happen.
Well, you have to start somewhere, and this is what they've planned to do. We'll see how things work out over the course of the season, and maybe some adjustments can be made.
Right. I think we'll see that.
Pretty good.
Top 12.
Well, right now, Matt Dunstone is lying one here in the 7th end, and he's got one buried in the 8-foot. Kevin Marsh with the come-around attempt. They got to get a big end going here. Yep, they can set up. This looks like it's going to tick, go, and roll a bit out into the open.
Sorry, Kev.
And Matt Dunstone has the lead, and to his credit, has taken advantage of some misses that Colton Flasch doesn't obviously make. I think he'll still look back to that 5th end where he had a draw for 2 and went heavy, and that's still maybe weighing on him. And when you miss a shot like that, then everything else is just you're just a little off. You're still thinking about that.
Yeah, you can't kick out that free draw, that free point, the hit for 2, the draw for 2. In virtually every game, even in the days I played, when that shot was missed, you'd always look back and say, there was the time that something changed in this game. And I feel like that was the turning point for sure.
But it's still a 2-point game, and if Flasch can pick up a deuce here, tie it up, and who knows what happens in an extra end.
Exactly.
Whoa! Clean! No! Right off! Whoa, 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 Ken! I think that's good, Kurt. Good job.
Deliver inside.
Gonna try to get inside. Back line. Back 12.
I think Kirk would have liked to have curled just a little bit more there, just taking away what Colton's talking about here. If he can get inside, he's sitting good. And you can see there's not a lot of room there to get inside, though.
No.
With any kind of weight.
Weight's good. Weight's good.
Yep.
Might be the way to make this one. Looks like Kev gave her a little start.
Hard. Whoa. 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 Cat.
He's by. He didn't get inside.
I don't know, man. Good shot.
That line looked pretty good.
They might have taken the curl out with the sweep. If they'd left that one, mind you, again, you can leave it wreck on the guard too. That doesn't look real bright, but it was just one where they probably need to let it curl a little more.
In the other game going on sheet 2, Sean Meacham now has a 2-point edge, 5-3 on Cody Hartung. Meacham has stolen the last 2 ends. So in pretty good shape there. Must win for Cody Hartung, who's coming in with an 0-2 record. Meacham 1-1.
It's right beside, so a guy's been able to sneak a peek at some real good curling, aggressive, lots of rocks in play, and a lot of good shots. And it's just whoever got that last one just in the right spot seemed, and Sean was getting them there.
I was thinking this, Moss. I like it. Okay. Yep.
I think Flasch still lying 1. Back of the button, or back of the forefoot.
Yep. I think it's totally fine, to be honest.
I didn't see the exact positioning of this guard, but if they, to me, I think if you think about this, if they put the guard on it, Flasch can play a double run, double, not a give me, but not impossible either. And then Maddie runs the risk of giving up 3.
Not quite halfway.
Okay, line's good.
Not quite half.
No, high as you can now. Line's perfect.
We're getting close to halfway.
No, it's just got to stop. Clean it. Clean.
I like that.
Good shot.
Well, boys like that.
Oh, this one coming in there just dead nuts. This goes right into here. Nothing we can do. They're gonna be playing this freeze, but that is what it is. Right into here.
Pretty thin.
Half a rock, a little thinner.
Yeah, third's pretty good.
Third's min.
Because even if you stick it a little bit across the face and scoop this here, that might even be.
Yeah, if you can even do like that, right? Like, I might have something in there too. Try to nut it.
Like the call.
Yeah, let's go peel. Try to nut it.
That's one thing I'll say, Colton, for not having skipped a lot, he skipped some, but not a lot. He's got a pretty good sense of the game.
The sliver less. I'll be nice.
Hey.
Yes, he does have some skipping experience. 17-18 season, he was a skip. Had the Marsh boys and also had Trent Knapp with him that year as well.
Yep, lost the provincial final to Matty Dunstone that time. Steve Laycock and Kirk and Del Nars. Just like that.
It's a good setup.
You
That
bet.
worked out very well. Looks like Flasch is lying too here.
Mm-hmm. He's got a rock out in front a little bit. He's sitting in good. He's got things set up pretty nice. He can play a hit and roll in off the outside blue one. There's just a lot of good things sitting there. It was a great shot by Catlin to set up a real good end.
Just my concern with this is he's got a free goal with this and the nose hit. What? No. I think your nose hit, like you can afford to hit pretty high too, and I think it gets the stuff good.
So, I think you guys should talk about how you want to hit it, because I know what you're thinking. You want to be a hair this side, but he's thinking if you hit it high at all off it'll just spin into it. You know what I mean? So that's why he's thinking a hair high.
I think this makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Where do you want to hit it, Matty?
It's like a sliver low to nose, like.
Okay. You're on the same page. Yeah. Cool. No,
This
that's
is gonna jam.
Yeah, we like this. He's right there. You can make that.
It's just he's got so many options into here.
So what happens if you don't? How much do you think he's got? How much do you think he's got to hit to make that off that one? Like he's only got.
You can only hit 2/3.
So he can't throw it. He can't throw it super hard then.
He needs to throw it hard, doesn't he?
Yeah. Well, he can make it, I think, if he slivers it.
We roll it in there.
That one drags through.
I think if they could undo something now, they wouldn't throw Braden's guard.
I don't mind the freeze.
I mean, hell of a lot of trouble if you touch it. Yeah. Well, I wonder if we do something like this.
Well, I thought about it, but I don't mind. I don't mind this. Like, Brandon, if you'd rather play that, like
I guess if we are something like this, then it gets
yeah, maybe we do come off that. I don't know.
what if we just throw it? Pretty good. Yeah, but this might be our shot.
You think Deuce? Don't mind that. Don't mind that at all. I like that. I'm in for that. Let's just throw.
Like, hit a quarter and get this back here. Like,
Yeah.
Thank God I need my back.
No, I think we're throwing here.
You do? Okay.
I think it's just right there.
Better?
Boy, that's not
Yeah.
much room there.
I do like the call though. I think it gives him. It feels like it's the hardest shot, but if he gets it anywhere in there from 8 foot to whatever, he's setting himself up with something with Maddie's now.
A little extra curl, come off a bit. But mind you, the guards reacted about sitting on both sides, eh?
They were looking at the other side and freezing it, but if he leaves it open and Catlin makes another great shot, he doubles it off. Now they're sitting 4 behind cover. So I like this shot.
I like this. So we're going right in the top button.
Like that? I think this is your spot. I agree.
Yep.
It seemed to be the shot that Braden wanted to play too, so that's another plus in terms of trying to decide whether it's the right one for you.
Well,
because you got to make it.
You go ahead. You want it? You got it.
Yeah. Well, I'll give you that. That's one thing Braden is not afraid of. He doesn't look for the easiest shot on the ice. He's got lots of confidence in what he's doing. And
got some curling to do yet.
Mm-hmm.
Touch a quarter of it. Catch ever. Back 4. You're nosing. Spleen.
Just T-line, back 4.
Maybe get a chisel one in there.
Whoa. No. Really good.
Shot.
Great shot.
that's all right, I think.
Yeah.
Mind you, the reality again is that Colton's laying 2 and throwing.
Cody Hartung took 1 in the 7th end, so he is down 1 without coming home to Sean Meacham here in that other game going on.
A half.
Hartung looking for his first win.
Okay, well, we're line 2 right now, right?
The Super Series.
Yeah, like I think you're here or even here is fine.
That's not great. Then he's coming off of ours.
Well, not if you're all the way over here. You can't.
I think we got to play it just to tap it just out of the 4 foot.
We got to get it at least to here.
We got to get right to here.
I think you're throwing back 12. Back 12, try to get as much as you can. It's coming. It is curling in this spot.
Only other thing we do is go here right now.
I don't love that. Not a fan. I'm not a fan. I think we got to play this. Well, how's he going to come in off if we only roll to there?
Yeah, it's just, no, wait, that's great. It's just really hard to make.
If I know we're rolling big, I'm just rolling to here.
I only have half a rock.
I understand. You're only throwing back 12. It is curling in here.
I guess if we just roll like kind of edge.
Even
like,
if you roll all the way to here, it's pretty good.
That's not bad actually. What do you do with that? Probably
Nothing.
slamming it in there. And
That's so thin. You got to play it. Yeah, we just got to make it. Back 12.
Yeah, Josh, like I want you guys to sweep it.
Good conversation, and if he makes this, there's going to be an incredible amount of pressure on the team that's up 2 playing 7.
We can make it pretty good if I'm like just back 12. Then we don't bounce much, right? Okay, like, yeah, like, you want to get a hug the hog?
It's a really tough shot, though. There's a lot of places that you can't go to, so they've got.
Well, we heard the weight call. It was back 12 weight. What Flasch wants.
I think they want to get the shooter out of there. Or if they get screaming tight to the guard and just leave it right there would be good too.
How's the weight?
Whoa.
Whoa. Yep.
Good, yep.
Yep. Hard. 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 Hard.
Yeah, they're going to get it by that top stone. No, he ticked it. I don't think he had quite enough weight. I heard him say back 4 weight. That's not what he wanted.
I mean, boy, you can't talk about missing it by much. I mean, that's just that's a fraction. Threw it pretty good, had the intent, and just over curled it.
Gosh, a hair more weight and that's a pistol.
Yep.
I'd like to sweep this again, I think. Also 15. That'll be perfect.
I'm actually surprised that he's not playing an out-turn freeze on this, but
Maybe a foot and a half.
because the situation's really good for him on this on the left-hand side of the ice there.
What? Is this an inch tucked?
It's almost half there.
Okay, so nose is perfect then.
Nose is perfect.
You want to move it about a foot and a half, ideally, huh?
6 inches to a foot.
Okay, so
Gotcha.
just trying to tap that blue stone up. Huh?
Yep.
Okay.
And absolutely, I mean that they know the spot, they know their throws. It's nothing better than knowing the spot.
Yep. I think so.
I got back 4.
Okay, stay close.
Like to wait.
Just wait.
Pretty close.
That's good.
Key line.
They like the weight.
Becky.
Becky.
Becky. Becky. We're going to be close, but a little heavy yet.
Becky.
A little angle.
Good job, buddy.
Pretty good.
Yep, it's pretty good. It didn't quite get what they needed, but
That second shot.
see what Colton's thinking there. He's thinking about slashing the double.
Let's just make sure we
Yeah,
make
of
sure we
course.
make the double. Third. Let's try for a
Third,
third.
you might miss one.
I think you might miss it. Third. Edge it on.
I think that shot probably sits Matty in a good spot to at most give up 2 here. If he makes his next one half, fairly close.
Sure. That makes something good.
With Colton's weight, this is a pretty makeable shot. Got a lot of range on the contact on the stone to make it.
Yep.
Really gotta go hard!
Touch the top one would be disaster.
Jesus Christ.
Yep, I agree with him.
Yep.
There's no question at all that he's got to be the range of hitting on that on the outside of the stone there. He had probably half to a quarter stone that he could hit that and make that double comfortably. So, yeah, he's got to be really.
There are shots that he loves to throw, and
Yep.
he's not making any of them.
And they're missed out of his hand. He's got to be really disappointed with that one.
Or just pick this. Got a cold draw to the board. Oh, you think there's enough there? Okay. I mean, yeah. If there's a chance of it, then I don't like it.
If this is a big
Right.
hand and they shake, what happens here?
I don't like it.
I was thinking either we go to tap, we just come here, or we hit this. Okay.
Okay, so there's no wrap.
Don't disagree. I think both are totally fine, Matty.
So the thing with this is, if you leave it here,
All right. It just promotes that we're up against
Probably not.
There's a piece buried here. Like, I mean, for him to make that, I guess he probably makes it with like hack or board.
so it's only for 3.
I mean, it depends.
Well, it won't be because we'll be somewhere in here. Anything over here is going to be for 2 unless I hit the board.
I don't think this double's there. Like, I mean, he's got to throw it. Like, he's tucked probably. We're tucked probably this much. See what you think, but. And I guess he could. It gets tight to the guard. It's probably not worth the risk.
But we're going to have something over there, right?
Yes. Sorry. I guess. Yeah. So if we freeze that, he's gonna fire this.
He's got a whistle the guard.
Well, I think we guard. Like,
Throw this anywhere though, like if you're good.
that's why I think the guard's the play, right?
So if we guard, what is it? He's only got to draw for 2. Wow.
If there was a clock today, they'd be in some trouble.
I think the nature of it, Matt and Braden do talk lots, and now throwing Kirk in there too with another skip's opinion, I think they're going to have to deal with that when the clocks come out.
Be better. Might be better. He's got that. Now he's got the board waiter for 2, and if he misses it, he gives us a steal, right? If he's high.
I think this is the best shot. Because here we're giving him a free go at some bomb, right?
Man.
This is the shot right here.
Yep. I think they thought it through. Took a little while, but I think their thinking's right on that. What they're trying to do with this thing is take away the 2 yellow catchers, and so.
We're tucked, or at least 3/4 there, eh? What do you think? Yeah, I agree. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so we want to be top button. This is the right call, Maddie. Let's commit to this, okay? Yeah. We need just a little less than you just gave us. You're good. This is the call. This is 100% the right call.
So a little pep talk from Kirk Myers, and this is the call, and you certainly like to have the confidence of your team that it is. You can just bear down and make the shot.
I think that is one of the really good things that Kirk brings to the team is that it doesn't matter whether it's a really good shot anymore. If you've decided, now you got to go make it. So you see often, and not the top end teams, but the mid-range teams take a long time to make that decision on what's the right stone. And then don't throw it. Don't throw it in the right spot. They're so focused on what the outcome would be, they forget that they have to throw the right weight, right line. And so that's you got to do the transition all the time from the. I always think you got to do the transition from what is the shot to I'm going to make this shot.
That's what he wanted.
I think he's got it in a pretty good spot, actually.
Well, he has his 1 now. How do you get 2?
I think he's got to hook this one with just back ring weight or back ring plus, and just try to play that double, scrape the guard and play the double.
You could have tried to nut it on here, but
Yeah, you probably don't have any.
oh yeah, you do. I think if you try to dead nut this right here, this is gonna maybe hit that.
I don't know if you have.
For sure you do. You gotta hit it right here. Right? I think it's there.
Yellow's close to going over the top. Like,
I think it's just there.
Max, you can really hit his nose.
I think you can go a hair high.
You think so?
Yeah, I do.
Well, it's gonna nick this one for sure. And it just depends how it. Right?
It's there. I think it's just there.
That's definitely a shot. And if we get one, we get one. We just
outturn,
steal, right?
get a little bit more action with it too.
Yeah, it might help.
You need to, and I get the thought process on trying to do this, and I don't think there's a lot of risk involved.
I mean, let's throw what we're comfortable with.
I just gotta try just.
Like from here, it looks like you can hit it a teeny bit high, but it's a little bit behind it. So I don't think you really can.
Well, whatever. I mean, you gotta hit it.
I mean, it's definitely for 2.
Yeah.
Like hopefully this 8 spin in here.
All right.
What turn do you like?
Center rock out turn.
Okay. Like. Yeah, I did though.
Center of the rock with the out turn. Hangs makes the triple. They're not far off each other.
All right. Here comes final stone of the 7th end.
I think it's a good. I think it was a good choice to take that pass at that, but I don't think there's much there.
Uh-oh. What the? Rock's moving all over the place, and now what? It looks like, I think it's still one.
Still one, yep.
Yeah. That's all it is. It had the makings of disaster there for a minute, but it is one. So Matt Dunstone up one with the hammer, coming home here in this match at the Vaderstad Saskatchewan Super Series, presented by Calidon Leasing.
At renewmyplace.com. Get it out of the way. What do you say? Renewmyplace.com. The family's making plans and they're gonna need a ride. Don't let license renewal keep you on the sidelines. Renew your plates at renewmyplace.com. Anytime, anywhere. Suit and tie or underwear. Renewmyplace.com. So easy peasy lemon squeezy. Renewmyplace.com.
He's covering everything that matters to you. It's the Rod Peterson Show. Tune in live Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to noon to catch the show live and be a part of the action. Take control by commenting live and sharing the show with your friends.
Warren Woods, Lyle Myers with you here at the Highland Curling Club in Regina for the Vaderstad Saskatchewan Super Series, presented by Calidon Leasing. And it's been an interesting match here as Colton Flasch and Matt Dunstone going at it, two teams that know each other very well. And really, it's been a close game, and yet it could be, you have to think, Colton Flasch seemed to have some momentum early on until a miss in the fifth end when he was heavy on a draw for two, and then the wind seemed to come out of the sails a little bit and allowed Matt Dunstone to take control here.
That's what I would have seen too, Warren, is that it just seemed like that missed draw for two, and he hasn't been the same since. That is certainly something that every curler falls prey to. It's something that, as a pro and different things, you have to work very hard to prevent that. And that's part about what your team dynamic is. It may not just fall on that player, it may fall on the other three players to help bring him out of that.
A little less weight.
Great first shot by Dustin. Got the split. See if he can do it again.
Yeah!
Less weight.
Yep. Don't leave it. Hard, Monty. Really gotta go.
Gotta go, buddy. Gotta go.
Hard, Kirk, play again.
Shot.
Would have liked to get over there a little bit more, but he still managed to get a rock off the center line.
Yep. As long as you get the first one off, at the worst, your skipper will be drawn against one, and in this case, it's off the center line, so the button will be available, and Matty's been hitting that T-line pretty good this game.
So Matt Dunstone up one with last rock here in the eighth and final end. Both teams 1-1 coming into this game, so it's a pivotal matchup.
Line's great.
Mine's great.
As you go through this, Warren, we'll have to try to find in the next game later on this evening, we'll try to find the draw to the button stats and throw that into the mix too, because it's too early for that. There's still too many games for really count that. Somebody has to miss the house once and changes everything, but that is definitely a factor.
Still another draw coming up this afternoon and this evening, so still lots of curling left. But yes, indeed, tiebreakers are broken by the stats from the draw to the button, which they do to determine last rock.
My first, and this is going to become the norm, I believe, in curling. I think even at perhaps at World, maybe not at World, but it's in the conversation at Worlds.
Gotta go!
There's double peel right there from Kirk Myers.
But it's in the conversation, and it's been at the world level. I remember, and this is I'm going to say close to 10 years ago, we went to play with Steve Laycock when we were over and played in Switzerland. Our first chance to be involved in that, and they had I believe it was 5-team pools like this. And we went 3-1, and we lost our first game in the first event, first game of the year. We were really ready to go, really excited about playing. Nice big purse. Went over there, lost our first game to a Russian that just was making runbacks from the wall like you have never seen. And you know, he wasn't lucky. They didn't nothing, but we lost that game. And our draw to the button was pretty good, but not good enough. We won the rest, and the rest of the guys mixed it up, and it went crazy. We ended up 3-1. Didn't get in the playoffs. Went home. Never went back to Switzerland again. So there's some, but as it becomes more normal, I mean, the teams are training for that and practicing that shot a lot because they know it's going to become the difference in a game. Or in an event, sorry.
Well, you know, it shortens an event if you don't have any tiebreakers, and you use that, and some will say, well, it's a skills competition to decide a playoff spot, and that's where the controversy lies. So
it seems like a bitter way to maybe lose a chance to win a Brier or Worlds or that sort of thing. But on the other hand, if you know it going in, it's part of what you train for and part of the game.
I suspect that a lot of these decisions will be made with television in mind too. You know, they don't want to have to spend a lot of resources on tiebreakers and these kinds of things. And you know, maybe this is the way that they might be needed to shorten things up. But we'll see.
And I think a good example of that is in the Brier, where you set some time aside in going into the last weekend for tiebreakers. And if there's no tiebreakers, it takes some momentum out of the event. So you've got a couple open draws. Some people decide that maybe they go back to the hotel, maybe they go back home, maybe they don't come back to the rink again. So it's when the event is at its peak to keep people playing, and that's why that conversation is had. You're right, for TV and for the event itself. So it's not impossible. We will see that someday. It's certainly in the conversation among curling officials.
Along with the fact that I think 8 ends are coming as well in national and international competition. They're already using it in the Grand Slams, and I think it won't be long before the Brier and the Scotties will be decided in 8 ends as well.
I agree. I think a 10-end game is awful long, and even the players are starting to recognize it. It's just with the amount of activity that's in a curling game today, you packed it into 8 ends, that's enough, I think. And then you're right, Warren, I think we'll see that change coming.
Sean Meacham has won his game over Cody Hartung over on sheet 2. So Meacham goes to 2-1, and Hartung now 0-3.
Okay, we're a little wider.
No, line will be fine.
Still wide.
Top 3 teams after the round robin will advance to the playoff round. First place team will have a bye. Second and third will play in a semifinal. And again, tiebreakers determined by the draw to the button stats. So no tiebreakers in this competition.
Good end played by Team Dunstone, couple ticks. Dustin didn't get the second one off, but he moved it far enough to set up the double peel. Kirk made a couple double peels, and now Colton's protecting something that's basically just full 8-foot at best. So I think what he'll do is continue to do this and eventually try to get a split in the house and hope Matty either hits and rolls out or misses a draw. Whatever Matty's feeling.
Well, when you have a one-up lead with last rock, this is what you want to see is
Yes.
a nice, clean house.
Nothing on the center line, not a lot of danger.
He's going to draw. I don't think he's
That becomes the next question: is he going to draw when they get on the split house, or is he going to try to hit?
We heard Colton Flasch say down there, and he expects him to draw.
Lots of room. We want to try to cover that. Yeah, it's got to be Dan all day. Both of you go. Both go. Hard.
It's got to get it to the house.
Hard. Go, go,
Got to
go,
get it
go,
into
go,
the
go.
rings.
Keep going, keep going, keep going.
Does he not? No.
Well, I don't know if there's a right here. It's one of the, you're tempted to go smack the one in the house, and then you just be drawing against one. It depends on what Matt wants to do.
Which is just a pick.
Making him think about it.
My thought.
You hit this, you lie too. Even when he's going to draw around that stone, but it's going to be 8 foot to be buried. He still has the 4 foot open, right?
Right. I think that it's one of those things. If you want to draw, the best that Colton will do with this thing is probably put it half of the 4 foot, and you can draw against it, and you're only drawing against the tie. And I think that's why he's probably hitting this one. If he goes to peel that guard, he splits the house. Now he's drawing against the loss or trying to hit. And so my sense is he wants to draw with his last one. Or that's at least what my thought would be in this, is that he wants to draw and he'd prefer not to draw against the loss.
Well, job done.
It's patient until it gets.
We don't have to be fully buried. He's drawing all day.
Wow, you got to be buried enough, so you can't just pick it. Yeah, I think we got to edge a button. Yeah.
That particular spot by that is getting very straight, unless Colton's throwing that in out a little.
It's the same path.
But I kind of agree with Catlin here to hang it half open and let him pick it. It's a straight spot, and he obviously shown he wants to draw, so cut down the 4 foot as much as you can.
Final stone, 8th end for Colton Flasch.
Mine's good. Clean.
I like the weight.
A little bit.
Mine's good.
Mine's good. Where are we? Clean. Mine's real nice. Want to be right on the tee.
Mine's got to curl.
Higher, if anything.
Has to curl. Has to curl.
Stay close.
Has to curl.
Yep. Go, 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 go.
Curling now.
Good shot. Real nice.
Yep. So that's about all Colton Flasch could do with that. And now it's a draw, full 4 foot for the win.
If you think about that one too, where Catlin had talked about they were trying to bury it, but I think if you leave that another, you could steal a couple more inches of that 4 foot by being closer to the center line there. Because Matty was drawn either way.
Yep. Last rock, 8th end. Full 4 foot for the win. Love listening to the sweepers. They have a pretty good idea. It's going to do. They're
Gotta go, man. Gotta go, Deuce.
Hard
Gotta go,
boy.
Deuce.
Stay on it. They've got to stay
Gotta
on
go,
it here.
Deuce.
Not too hard.
Come on, Deuce. Gotta go.
Oh, I don't know. Nope. He is short. All he can get is the full 8 foot, despite the sweep all the way down. And it is a steal of 1 for Colton Flasch, so off to an extra end we go. And kind of surprised at that.
Well, a little bit. It's one of those things that I think we see, and again, as you go into the center line, because all the play today is to the center line, if anything, it gets a little heavier down the middle. And I think we might have just seen that a little bit.
So it's a tie game, 5-all. They go to an extra end, and Matt Dunstone will hold last rock advantage. Hey, let's keep on going. It's been an interesting game and an entertaining game so far. This is the Vaderstad Saskatchewan Super Series, presented by Calidon Leasing, here on Curling Zone.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Building a deeper connection with our fans by putting them in the show. It's a new era of sports talk. The Rod Peterson Show airs from 10 to noon, Monday to Friday on Facebook Live. Join the conversation today and tune in. Online, on your phone, at home, at work. Follow us on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. And subscribe on YouTube for all the content you want to watch. Don't wait, do it right now.
Welcome back to the Highland Curling Club. Warren Woods-Lau Myers with you. As we're in an extra end now with Colton Flasch and Matt Dunstone, the defending provincial champion, 5-all. In a pivotal game here in the Vaderstad Saskatchewan Super Series. Usually Matt Dunstone makes those all day, but you know, nothing is for sure in this game. And you know, it was a draw to the 4-foot. They're never easy, but in this particular case, you know, 8th end, you do, you know, especially on club ice, you know, you can get the sliding path worn down a little bit, and perhaps you know, they were caught by that. Although the sweepers were pretty much on it all the way down.
They were. I didn't see Kirk and Dustin panic on release or anything like that. So it's one of those that they thought it was pretty close. And it was close. Another foot, we're not having this conversation. But I think you're right. It's got a little flat. And again, we talk about early event and also early games in an event. So this is their third. Maybe they haven't played any draws late in the game. If they, you know, they come through and win and end up in the playoffs, it's great information for them to go forward. But a little disappointing. But again, Dustin comes out after being, you know, giving that up and making a real nice tick. So if he makes it again, we should be in good shape.
Pretty close, Matt.
Clean, hard curve.
That's what makes life easy for a skipper, is a lead that'll do that for you.
That lead position becomes so important in a game like this, doesn't it? I mean, it's important. It's become more important than it used to be over the years with that, with the 4-rock rule, 5-rock rule, and getting the rocks positioned in the right spots. But boy, that tick shot has been such a weapon.
Yeah, it certainly is, and I often because. You know, the teams that I work with, my oldest son Dallin played lead, and he'd often, I say, nice couple ticks, and he'd go, you know what, Dad? He said, leads never win a game, but they sure can lose them. If I don't make those ticks, he said, it changes everything, and the leads have become so good at that. I'm expecting a rule change coming soon on that, maybe in the next Olympic cycle about the tick late in the game, because what it actually does here is takes a little drama out of the end of the game. And so I think what they're would be trying to do, and I don't think it's in stone, but I know the conversation's being had to try to figure out a way to prevent the tick in the last end.
I don't know about that. You got to be able to play some kind of defense, can't you? I mean, you've got the rocks in play, and I know it's again another skill, and these curlers work so hard at that. But gosh.
I think it'd be disappointing for the lead. I think that's the shot. That's their shot. It's the skip shot is a draw for the win, a big run. To take away the tick for that's the shot that the leads can really show off, and it would be difficult for that. But I do know it would add excitement to the end of a curling game.
I suspect you'd see a lot more steals.
Yep.
And you'd see a lot more play around the forefoot.
Some of the slams have put that into there, and you do see full forefoots. I don't know if you still see that many steals, because the last stone is still pretty vital, but it does make it a little more exciting than this.
Weight's good.
Okay, we're still a little wide.
And having said that, after missing the draw in 8, this is still exciting.
We got to go for weight, no?
Even up here is okay.
Well, again, I mean, Colton Flasch did all he could do. He got a piece of the forefoot, and you expect skips at this level to make that draw, but
good shot.
Anything can happen when those. They're certainly not gimmies.
Yep, that's right.
Yep.
Colton's trying to find a way to shrink the or close the rings down a little bit. There's really nothing here. I mean, it's just a matter of where else would you put it. And
he's good, eh?
because right now full 8 foot will do it. It'll be interesting if it stays like this where Colton puts his last one, whether he wants Matty to hit or draw. And my guess is I think if I was him, I would throw it into about the middle of the 8 foot and make him think about a couple different things. And
got a curl.
No bounce on this line. Can't bounce.
Guys, that one would have been real close to the way it was perfect, but it's still we're still just a hair wide.
Double peel. Player. Thanks.
Into the stats.
Yes.
Put it here.
Does it really help?
Now you just bury it.
Even if we're like half around guard.
T-line.
Line. Okay,
Line's
guys.
good.
No, pretty good.
Line's good.
Line's real good.
Line's good.
Line's perfect.
Line's really good. Got lots of room.
Let it work if you can.
Lots of room. Lots of room. It's got to finish it.
Line's...
Just wait. Yep. Go now. Yep. Yep. Go now. Go now. Hard.
No. Easy.
Yep. Keep going.
Whoa.
Real good.
Candy.
don't think so. We're just going to choke us off, assuming he just continues to make them.
Again, I think by this shot, it also tells me Matt is comfortable with hitting one in the forefoot, because one of his shots here, he could just come down and corner freeze that, and again, eventually that would move slightly more to the center line, but
Too high, but yeah, I mean, you don't want to trip. Here.
But you could have corner froze that, and maybe the rings would have been cut down a little bit, but because I think doing this, he knows that he's going to have to peel the center guard next, and nose hit on the last one, unless he chooses to draw.
You may think about that more after missing that last draw in the 8th end.
Even as a team, there'd be that, particularly if they felt like they threw it the way they wanted to. The next question is, do I throw it like that again?
Line's good. Yeah, that's a little too tight. Okay, looks okay, hey? Okay.
Yeah.
Heavy clean. Here's your spot.
Make it really usable.
Here's your spot. Okay. It's okay.
Good.
Good shot.
Get her.
I think the one thing that...
Sorry, Lyle, that's where they tap the broom, though. Why not try to get that right on the center line?
Yeah, they could. I don't know if it matters much. It's going to go... the one thing that I think I'm glad Matt didn't look at is trying to run this onto any of those yellow ones. I mean, the odds of spilling that into the forefoot aren't that great, but that's not what you want. So just peel it clean, and then react to wherever Colton puts this one. Make your decision then.
Top of the house somewhere?
Never hit it. Never hit it. This gives way more help. Say that, like, right? That doesn't change really anything. Yeah.
I mean, we know the spots, but they're right here. Yeah, I mean...
He's throwing them both. He threw the out turn in the 7th end, too. My thought is you put it right here, he's never hitting this, and at least he has to draw more house. Because we just bite the 8-foot, it's the same as really as he's against me. No, because you never hit here, right?
Yeah, but you air to be here, and then
but then it doesn't
the same
change
difference.
his
He
draw.
makes it go.
It doesn't change his draw, right? At least this is changing his draw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as long as we're not here. Then he's good.
Whatever. I mean, I think he's going to miss this hit. He's going to miss the rollout more than he's going to miss the draw. I think he's going to roll it more times than he's going to miss the draw. Especially if it's behind the tee line. That's going to get a little extra curl.
Well, I like this turn.
Yeah, I like it.
I don't want to show him anything.
You like Colton's idea here?
I think so.
We're just trying to put it right here. Yeah, right there.
Aim to be heavier than light, probably?
Yeah, if it goes here, I mean, it's better than probably tee line. Okay, so edge of button.
I think if I was him, I would bite a little piece of the forefoot exactly like his last one, and then ask him if he wants to hit. I guess it's...
Well, I mean, he'd probably just be throwing like a little board weight at that. We've seen him make those.
Yeah, they've had a very good feel for that shot, yes, yeah. So then... and there's no point, I understand why they don't necessarily want to go to the center line, is you're not really blocking anything anyway. No one's going to draw over that center line, so it shouldn't come into play unless someone throws a real bad stone, so...
Line's good. Where are we?
It'd be interesting to know what Matt is thinking. If he's probably made up his mind before it stops. If the forefoot's open, I'll take it. If it isn't,
Yeah,
Has to be.
I'll probably hit it. I'm sure if it's full 4, he probably will hit it.
The rocket. Stay close. Yep. Hard. Keep going. Hard. Good shot.
I think Colton got what he wanted. I wouldn't want to hit that one back there, and we just didn't. Oh, he is.
Well, with that, I say, yeah, I mean, it's going to be a quiet hit. I don't think there's much more than board there, right? But it is a different turn.
I haven't seen
too many.
I haven't
down.
seen that shot, so I don't know. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. I just haven't seen that shot, so I myself wouldn't know exactly where to put the broom. I'd have a tendency to draw the 4 foot again.
There you go, man.
Well, you have the backing there, even if you want to drop down to that.
You could have followed. Yeah, you could have followed Colton as well. The nature there of that shot is you have a tendency to throw it too hard then.
I'll see what he does. Game on the line right here. Final stone of the extra end for the win.
Nice hack.
Just hack. Just hack.
Yep.
Little hack weight. Just hack.
That line looks pretty good if the weight's all right. Looks good.
Hack weight.
Nice little hack weight tap for the win, and he has got it. So great shot from Matt Dunstone, who gets his single and picks up the victory 6-5. So Matt Dunstone and his rink go to 2-1, while Colton Flasch drops to 1-2. So Flasch still in the running for a playoff spot, but now Dunstone's rink is in a very good position heading into the rest of the spiel. We've got another draw coming up this afternoon, and Lyle and I will be back here tonight at 7 o'clock to bring you more from the Vaderstad Saskatchewan Super Series. It's brought to you by Calidon Equipment Leasing. We'll see you soon.